Hey guys. This is part 4 of What If Naruto Was the Heir of Hashirama. Hit like and subscribe if you like this one, and also please check the author in the description. Let's start. Chapter 14, Hokage. Yeah, Blondie, I know my name. Jiraiya, who is this kid? Asked Tsunade with a slightly irritated voice. Tsunade is a beautiful woman who looked to be in her 20s despite being over 50. She is a fair-skinned woman with brown eyes and straight, blonde hair tied back into 2 loose ponytails with bangs framing either side of her face. She was wearing a grass-green haori with the kanji for gamble written in black on the back, inside a red circle. Underneath she wears a gray, kimono-style blouse with no sleeves, held closed by a broad, dark bluish-gray obi that matches her pants. She wears open-toed, strappy black sandals with high heels and red polish on both her fingernails and toenails. She also has a violet diamond mark situated on her forehead. Jiraiya laughed as Naruto was still gawking at Tsunade. Jiraiya never told Naruto they were searching for her, and it definitely caught him by surprise. He's my new apprentice, Naruto. Naruto, this is Tsunade and Shizen, said Jiraiya as Naruto finally got out of his stupor. Naruto looked to the black-haired woman as she smiled warmly at him. Why don't you hang with Shizen while my teammate and I speak to one another? Naruto nodded his head as he greeted Shizen. Nice to meet you, Shizen-san, said Naruto as he held out a hand to Tsunade's dark-haired assistant. Nice to meet you too, Naruto. This is Taunton, said Shizen as she shook hands with Naruto and showed him her pig. Naruto and Jiraiya sat in the booth with the 2 women as Naruto talked to Shizen and played with Taunton. Tsunade held a critical eye toward Naruto as she already knew who he was. Naruto, the QB kid? I haven't really heard from him since he was born. Seems he's grown up to look just like Jiraiya's last pupil, the 4th. Thought Tsunade as she noticed a green glow coming from her chest. Why is my grandfather's necklace glowing? So what do I owe the pleasure of seeing you here? Said Tsunade to Jiraiya as she sipped from her cup. Well, we just stopped here for something to eat, and imagine my surprise when I see you here, of all people, said Jiraiya with a smile. Tsunade scoffed. Seems like both of my old teammates decided to visit me on the same day. Jiraiya narrowed his eyes slightly and asked, So you're saying Orochimaru was here? What happened? Nothing much. We just said hello, answered Tsunade. Jiraiya smirked slightly. Is that why there was a section of the palace wall destroyed? Just a hello? Asked Jiraiya. Jiraiya and Naruto had seen a huge piece of the wall around Tanzakagai in pieces on their way into the city. TCH. Orochimaru already told me about Sensei, so what do you want, Jiraiya? Jiraiya took on a serious face as he said, I'll get straight to the point then. Konoha has requested that you become its 5th Hokage. At the word Hokage, the table went silent. Shizen looked shocked as she couldn't believe what was just said. Tsunade had no outside reaction to the word but inwardly was shocked. Naruto got excited at the prospect of Tsunade being the Hokage. He'd be able to have a family member always around, especially someone like Tsunade. I'll say it again, the village advisors have requested that you become the village's Godame Hokage, 5th Hokage. So what do you say? Said Jiraiya since Tsunade was still quiet. Tsunade took a deep breath and said, Not possible, I refuse. Jiraiya laughed slightly. I remember that line. I asked you to date me a long time ago and those were the same words you used. Said Jiraiya as Naruto looked shocked at Tsunade. Tsunade noticed Naruto's facial expressions and scoffed slightly. Seems your apprentice is shocked at that. He even looks like your last one, though he's less gifted. To still be a genin at that age, terrible, said Tsunade as Naruto narrowed his eyes slightly. That's a pretty tough comparison as it's hard for anyone to beat the Yondaime in those fields. His capabilities as a ninja were unrivaled in history. He was talented with techniques, incredibly smart, and very popular. He was also handsome like me, said Jiraiya. He was going to continue with how Naruto could surpass the Yondaime with time, but Tsunade cut him off. Even still, the 4th died young. He threw his life away for the village, said Tsunade as Naruto glared at her. How could you say that? He died protecting what was precious to him, said Naruto. Tsunade scoffed. Life isn't like money. Only an idiot bets his life so easily, said Tsunade. Naruto began to shake with rage slightly. An idiot? Thought Naruto. My grandfather, the Shodai Hokage, and the Nidaime wished to end the war, but they wasted their lives before they could accomplish that, said Tsunade as Naruto put his head down slightly. Jiraiya noticed Naruto's anger rising and hoped he'd keep a level head. Tsunade, you've changed. I don't know what you've been thinking, but you seem to have put it in words, said Jiraiya. Tsunade laughed slightly. I'm in my 50s despite looking like this. Time changes people. Sarutobi-sensei is the same. If an old man tries to act brave, of course, he'll die, said Tsunade. The title Hokage is a piece of crap. Only an idiot becomes one. Finished Tsunade as she blinked to see a fist inches from her nose. Naruto had jumped on the table and threw a punch at Tsunade, only to have Jiraiya stop him by grabbing his shirt. Tsunade saw Naruto holding a very serious face at her, as she merely laughed. Seems someone wants to fight, said Tsunade as Naruto nodded his head. Fine, meet me outside, brat. Naruto vanished in a shunshin as Tsunade merely walked outside to face him. Jiraiya facepalmed as he got up to follow. Come on, Shizen. Someone needs to scrap that kid's remains off the street after Tsunade is done with him. Outside the bar, Naruto stood across Tsunade in the middle of the street. One finger, said Tsunade as she held up her index finger. It's all it'll take to beat a genin. Finished Tsunade as she noticed Naruto still hadn't said anything. Jiraiya and Shizen walked outside as Jiraiya said, Tsunade, don't do this. We can talk about this like grown-ups. This brat tried to punch me. He needs to know his place, said Tsunade as she looked to see Naruto still standing there. Well, if you're not coming, then I will. Tsunade took off toward Naruto as she attempted a backhanded swipe to his face, but Naruto ducked. Tsunade was confused as he moved at a speed too fast for a genin, and because of that received a powerful elbow to the ribs, sending her stumbling backward. Jiraiya smiled slightly at the scene of Tsunade getting hit, and of Shizen almost dropping Taunton in shock at what she had just witnessed. Jiraiya-sama, how can a genin fight like that? He shouldn't be able to hold a candle to her, said Shizen watching Tsunade finish stumbling back from Naruto's elbow strike. Naruto may be a genin, but he's likely one of the strongest in Konoha right now. He just needs a little more time and he'll be the best, said Jiraiya as he then saw what Naruto was about to do. Did he finish it? Thought Jiraiya in shock. Naruto stood back up after elbowing Tsunade to hold his right arm up with his palm facing upward. A few seconds afterward, Jiraiya, Shizen, and Tsunade heard a familiar swirling sound only produced by one jutsu. In Naruto's hand, blue chakra began to swirl around in his hand as a blue orb, double the size of his fist, pulsed into his hand. Rasengan! Shouted Naruto. It's not fully completed yet, but to come that far since I showed it to him during the finals, thought Jiraiya as he saw Naruto's incomplete Rasengan. However, he still can't keep it from being slightly bigger than the normal. It's just like Minato's. Tsunade knew the jutsu from a mile away and the danger present. She wasn't prepared to see the kid perform a shunshin and appear in front of her with his hand cocked back. That shunshin speed is incredible. I have to, thought Tsunade as her entire hand glowed brightly with chakra and she smashed it into Naruto's Rasengan. Naruto was blown back into the wall as his jutsu backfired and sent him into the wall. A completed Rasengan would have gone through Tsunade's hand with ease, but due to its instability in Naruto's hand, it backfired and blew up on him. I still don't have that down all the way, said Naruto. Shizen ran over to Naruto and helped him out of the wall. She then began to apply medical jutsu to heal him. Jiraiya, why did you teach him such a dangerous move? You know that only you or the Yondaime can do that move. If I hadn't used chakra to stop it, it would have done more than just blown up in his face. It could have taken his arm off had he smashed it into something. Jiraiya paid Tsunade no attention as he walked over and patted Naruto on the back. You won, brat. Good on ya. And only a month and a half since I showed you that jutsu during the finals. Nice progress, said Jiraiya as Naruto grinned. What, he didn't win? He got in a lucky shot and then blew himself up with his own jutsu. How did he win? Asked Tsunade to see Naruto smirk. Naruto held up one finger as he said, You used more than one finger, so I win by default. Ha! I'm 1-1 against the Sannin. Jiraiya-sensei, you're next. Oh ho, brat. You're decades too early to face me, said Jiraiya as he noticed Tsunade trying to leave. I can't let you do that, Tsunade-heim. As I said, the Konoha Council has selected you as their Godaime. The kid and I aren't letting you leave just so you can vanish again. We'll stay on you until you come back to Konoha. Tsunade sneered at him. Why would I? Why should I? I already said I'm not going. That place has taken too much away from me. It isn't getting my life too. Shizen, we're going, said Tsunade as she tried to leave, but Jiraiya didn't move. Tsunade scoffed slightly as she turned away from him. As she turned away, she spotted the area where Naruto's jutsu backfired. She smirked slightly as she got an idea. Hey kid, how about a wager? You know that jutsu you just used was created by the Yondaime Hokage. If you can master that move in a week, then I'll come back to Konoha with you, and even give you this necklace. But if you don't, then you head back to Konoha without me and you give me all the money you have on you. Naruto looked at the necklace and could see it glowing. Deal. 1 week. I'll show you a completed Rasengan and you come with us. If not, then we go home alone. Tsunade smirked as she walked away with Shizen. Tsunade-sama, why did you bet your necklace away so easily like that? It's a family heirloom, said Shizen as Tsunade looked back at Naruto and Jiraiya's retreating forms. He can't complete it in a week anyway. It took Jiraiya several more months when he had it that far, so that brat won't even be close by the end of the week. Easy bet. Said Tsunade as she then thought, that kid, he's connected to my grandfather's necklace. It seems to resonate around him. As she finished her thought, her necklace stopped glowing as she got farther away from Naruto. Who are you? Later that night, Naruto heard a knock at his hotel room door. Opening it, he found Shizen standing there. Oh hey Shizen-san. What are you doing here? She came inside and ran a green glowing hand over him. Well, you seem alright from that earlier jutsu. Thank goodness. Said Shizen. Yeah. It used to be way worse, trust me. Did you need something? I need to get some rest so I can train tomorrow for this bet. Yes, Naruto-san, that's what I need to talk to you about. I don't want you to think of Tsunade-sama as a bad person, she's just bitter, said Shizen awkwardly as Naruto nodded his head. Because she lost her brother and lover in the war, right? Asked Naruto as Shizen gasped. How could you know about something like that? Well, I'm quite the curious individual, and I love reading about history. The stories of the Sannin were one of my favorites, and hers happened to be there. It didn't explain why she left Konoha, so I asked Gigi about it, and he told me the tragic tales of Nawaki Senju and Dan Kato. Your uncle, right? Said Naruto. Shizen nodded her head, becoming more impressed by the golden blonde-haired ninja in front of her. Well, if you know that, then you must know that that necklace is cursed. It will kill anybody who wears it besides Tsunade-sama. It did to both Nawaki and Uncle Dan, said Shizen. Well, then I'm next cause I'm winning this bet and that necklace. So tell her to get her bags packed because she's going back to Konoha with me and Jiraiya-sensei. Believe it, said Naruto with finality. Shizen smiled slightly at Naruto's determination and actually hoped he'd win. She wanted to go back to Konoha too. 1 day later, Naruto left at sunrise to go train and found a clearing to do so in. He was standing atop a lake wearing only his beige pants, foregoing the rest to keep it from getting wet. He had been practicing the Rasengan for about 3 hours and was making some progress. I have to complete this jutsu. Konoha needs Tsunade back. She could help so many people, like Rock Lee. She can even help Sakura-chan with her medical ninjutsu. Thought Naruto as he channeled another Rasengan, not to mention she's family. Naruto's Rasengan destabilized after 10 seconds as it fizzled away. Getting closer, I hope I can No, I will finish this jutsu by the end of the week. One more time. Thought Naruto as he was about to attempt another one until he had to dodge a fireball. Who would attack me? Thought Naruto as he then noticed something special about his attacker's jutsu. Blue fire. Hey Yugito-chan, said Naruto as there was a sharpened nail on his throat. Yugito was standing behind Naruto with a smile as she greeted Naruto in kind. Hello, Naruto-kun. Fancy meeting you here, said Yugito. She was wearing a short-sleeved black and blue blouse with black pants, both of which had matching cloud patterns on them, blue fingerless gloves, and a chain of blue beads wrapped around her left hand. She also had on a black Kumo forehead protector. Naruto smiled as well. Can I ask why you're here? You're not a stalker, are you? Questioned Naruto as he turned on the water to see Yugito pull out a scroll. The day I woke up, my Kage asked me to come in the next day for an important mission. That mission entailed a response to Jiraiya's scroll about the Akatsuki. We heard from intel that he was seen in Tenzakugai, and that's why I headed here. He also debriefed me on the newest A-rank ninja out of Konoha, Naruto Senju. Imagine my surprise when I then see him here. Said Yugito as Naruto laughed slightly. As Naruto was chuckling, Yugito's Bijou decided to toss in her 2 cents. Kitten, he's shirtless. He looks like a demigod, claim him now. Shouted the Nibby in Yugito's mind as Yugito blushed slightly. Not now, Nibby, said Yugito as she cut the connection. She heard Naruto speak again but wasn't listening. What was that? Naruto smiled. Internal debate with your Bijou. I get that all the time with my partner. What's yours like? Kyubi gets pretty grumpy. Said Naruto as Kurama internally stirred. Grumpy? I'm gonna F*** you up. Wait, did you censor me? Asked Kurama confused because his word got bleeped. Kurama's face then got pixelated. Oh, I'm kicking your asterisk later whenever I get the cha started Kurama again until Naruto cut the connection to focus on Yugito. Nibi's not too difficult, she's rather easy to get along with once you get past her trying to meddle with my private life, said Yugito. Well, Ms. Ni, would you like for me to show you to Jiraiya-sensei? Said Naruto as he put his black shirt and sandals back on. As Naruto was tying his forehead protector around his forehead, he asked, but why not get some food first? Yugito smirked slightly. Are you asking me on a date, Mr. Senju? Asked Yugito as Naruto smiled slightly. A date? You'll have to work a little harder for that. I'm just asking you to join me for some lunch. So what do you say? Said Naruto as Yugito nodded her head, and they walked into town. On the way to find a place to eat, Naruto decided to ask a question. Hey, what was it like growing up in Kumo? You know, being a Jinchuriki and whatnot? Asked Naruto, curious to find out if all Jinchuriki grew up with difficulties as he did. It's okay if you don't want to talk about it. Yugito looked at Naruto as she said, No, it's fine. Life was pretty tough in the beginning. I became a Jinchuriki at the age of 2 and was shunned for a while. People were afraid of me because of what I held. I didn't really get away from it until I was 6, and that was when I was put through a rigorous training regimen to hone my abilities, especially Jinchuriki abilities. Said Yugito with a dejected look. Yugito's look then turned to one of passion as she continued with, but I was determined to win the village's affection, and that determination proved great results in my training. I finished that training when I was 12 and was made a genin. A year later I won Kumo's Chunin exams and became a Chunin. At that point, the people of Kumo began looking at me differently. They saw my prowess in the exams and finally began to start loving me as I had always wanted. It only got better as I was made a Jonin 2 years later at 15, and was deemed the strongest female in Kumo. Life was hard at first, but they eventually warmed up to me, and it's better than I could ever imagine now. Naruto nodded his head with a smile as he said, Hell yeah! That's an amazing story. I'm happy for you, said Naruto as Yugito looked at Naruto with a questioning gaze. Oh, my story? It's the same really. My entire existence ever since I can remember was ignored. The only person who seemed to care was the Sandaime Hokage and my orphanage mother. Then at the age of 6, the Sandaime showed me a restaurant, and there I met 2 more people that cared for me. I swore on that day that I'd get as strong as him so I could protect my friends and my village. I was going to become the Hokage so that everyone had to acknowledge and see me as someone important. My dreams are beginning to come true as the villagers are starting to see me as me, not the Kyuubi who destroyed the village all those years ago. I'm not finished yet, but things have definitely changed and the villagers welcome my presence nowadays. Naruto finished his tale with a small smile as he remembered those times. Yugito looked at Naruto with a smile. Seems our lives aren't that different, Naruto-kun, thought Yugito as she saw Naruto opening the flaps to a small restaurant. Yugito stepped in and started laughing as she turned to see Naruto's grin. Sushi, how do you know? Asked Yugito amused. I have my ways, replied Naruto. Yugito and Naruto sat and talked for about an hour over things like their favorite colors, blue, Yugito, and orange, Naruto. After an intriguing talk, Naruto decided to escort Yugito to Jiraiya. When Naruto went to open the flaps back up, he noticed a pair of wooden geta outside. Opening the flap, Naruto said, Jiraiya-sensei. I was just about to come looking for you. Hello, Gaki? I see you've been keeping busy. Hello, Miss Yugito-ni, said Jiraiya as Yugito stepped out and greeted Jiraiya. Jiraiya-sama, it is a pleasure to meet you. I've heard so much about you, said Yugito as she shook hands with Jiraiya. Yugito then pulled out a scroll and gave it to Jiraiya as she said, I'm here to deliver the reply from the Reikage about your request to deal with the Akatsuki. We heard you were here in Tanzakagai and I was sent to be the liaison between us. I spotted Naruto-kun on the way here, and he said he'd bring me to you after lunch. Jiraiya read over the scroll as he nodded his head. Well, young lady, it seems the terms are well, but I can't sign off on this. Only the Hokage can, and we don't have one at the moment, said Jiraiya as Yugito looked on confused, wondering what would happen. But you're in luck. Gaki here will bring home the new Hokage in 6 days, so why don't you stick around? I'm sure you and he can find a way to pass the time. Finished Jiraiya with a lecherous grin. Naruto laughed nervously as Yugito blushed. Now remember, Gaki, you have 6 days to finish the jutsu, so get to it, kiddo, and don't get sidetracked, said Jiraiya as Naruto nodded his head. Hey Yugi-chan. You wanna come? Asked Naruto as Yugito nodded her head. As the two were leaving, Naruto turned to see Jiraiya holding 2 thumbs up. Jiraiya mouthed the words, or do get sidetracked and become a man. Naruto laughed slightly as he and Yugito disappeared back to the clearing he was at previously. 6 days later, several days passed since Yugito had shown up and she and Naruto spent every day together. Yugito and Naruto trained and sparred with each other during those days as well as eat lunch together. They had met before sunrise today and eventually, Naruto could be seen smiling as he stood over a panting Yugito. "Seems I win again, Yudi-chan," said Naruto. They had just finished another spar. "That makes it 5-3 with me in the lead." Yugito panted a little more as she breathed out, "That'll change soon. I almost had you in that last one. You just got lucky." Naruto held a hand out to help Yugito up as she then asked, "Do you think you completed the Rasengan? Today's the big day, right?" Naruto held up his right arm as he said, "Whether I think I can do it or not is irrelevant. There's no think, I'm going to do it, I have to." Finished Naruto as Yugito nodded her head. "Now let's go find Jiraiya-sensei and get this over with." Arriving back at his hotel, Naruto knocked on Jiraiya's door with Yugito behind him. Jiraiya had gone drinking with Tsunade last night, and Naruto figured he'd be in bed still. However, Naruto received no answer and began to worry slightly. Naruto looked to his left down the hallway since he felt a familiar presence approaching. "Naruto-kun! Tsunade-sama's gone. I can't find her," said Shizen as Naruto looked more worried. "Jiraiya-sensei's not in his room," started Naruto until Jiraiya's door opened. Jiraiya had opened the door but immediately slunk against it as he said, "Where's Tsunade?" "I don't know. She knocked me out and left me here. We have to find her, it could be too late," said Shizen as Naruto took notice of Jiraiya's condition. "You look like hell, Jiraiya-sensei." "What happened?" asked Naruto. "Tsunade drugged me last night." "Shizen, did Orochimaru offer her something?" asked Jiraiya. Shizen looked as if she feared the worst. "Yes. He offered to bring Nawaki and Dan back if she healed his arms. Today was the day they were supposed to meet again, and that's where she probably is. We have to stop her," said Naruto as he thought, "She wouldn't do that, would she? She has to know it's a trap." While Naruto was in his thoughts, Shizen began to heal Jiraiya as best she could. "You should be fine now, but that drug won't be out of your system for a few hours." "It's the best I could do," said Shizen as Jiraiya straightened up. "Well, let's get to it, shall we? Let Operation Whoop Ass, consisting of finding my teammates, beating some snake ass, and dragging Tsunade back by her ponytails, commence," said Jiraiya as he looked at Yugito. "Almost forgot about you. You can join in if you want." Yugito looked at Naruto and back at Jiraiya as she nodded her head firmly. Jiraiya and Naruto were headed toward the hotel exit until they realized something. "How the hell are we going to find her?" asked Naruto as Jiraiya laughed sheepishly. "Well, you see, Shizen? Any ideas?" asked Jiraiya as Shizen smiled. Taunton. Several minutes later, Taunton had led the small group back to the ruined castle wall to see even more destruction. Naruto smiled at the sight of the demolished wall. "Seems like Tsunade Bakkan declined," said Naruto as Shizen looked at Naruto with a raised eyebrow. "And? Why'd he call her that?" thought Shizen. "Yeah, it does. But that could be a good or bad thing depending on the circumstances with Orochimaru. We need to make sure she's safe. Yugito, you hang back, we'll use you as a surprise if it's necessary," said Jiraiya as Yugito nodded. The rest of them headed into the field on the other side of the wall to see Tsunade seemingly frozen. She was on her knees shaking slightly as they noticed Kabuto preparing to put her down fully. "This is the end," shouted Kabuto as he brought down his kunai. Halfway down, Kabuto noticed a mop of yellow hair in between him and Tsunade. Kabuto was then sent sailing backward as a foot connected with his chin. Kabuto landed on the ground and skidded slightly from the quick kick. When he looked up to see who hit him, he saw Naruto putting his foot down. "Hell yeah, I look awesome," thought Naruto as he then took notice that he had hit Kabuto. "Seems he was a spy. I knew not to trust him." Shizen rushed over to Tsunade to take her away and clean off the blood on her. Jiraiya landed next to Naruto and stood by his side. Kabuto stood back up as Orochimaru walked beside him. "Ah, what a reunion this is." Jiraiya and Naruto-kun showed up as well. "Though I wonder what for," said Orochimaru as Jiraiya held an arm up to stop Naruto from attacking Orochimaru. "That's not your fight, kid. Even with useless arms, he'd still be too much for you to handle. You just handle Specs over there while I take on Orochimaru," said Jiraiya as Naruto nodded a little hesitantly. "This isn't good. Naruto will be a hassle to deal with, and I don't think Orochimaru-sama can beat Jiraiya in his current condition," thought Kabuto as he noticed Orochimaru still wanting to go. "Oh well. As you wish, Orochimaru-sama." "Kabuto!" Do it, said Orochimaru as Kabuto lifted his sleeve to reveal a tattoo. Kabuto smeared a bit of blood on the tattoo and went through several hand seals. Kuchios no Jutsu, summoning technique, said Kabuto as two huge snakes appeared underneath him and Orochimaru. Jiraiya had spotted what Kabuto was about to do and copied him. Kuchios no Jutsu, summoning technique, said Jiraiya as a huge poof of smoke appeared. When the smoke cleared, a small orange toad appeared. Yo! Said Gamakichi with a wave. Wow, Jiraiya-sensei, she messed you up good, said Naruto as he then saw Jiraiya slam his palms onto the ground. Doton, Yomi Numa, swamp of the underworld, said Jiraiya as a huge swamp appeared below the snakes and began sinking them slightly. Yeah, she got you good. That swamp is terrible compared to the one you showed me, said Naruto as Jiraiya put his head down in shame. My own apprentice is talking down on me. What has this world come to? Asked Jiraiya as he lifted his head immediately. Alright, you got 4 eyes. I'll get Orochimaru. Finished Jiraiya as they leaped into action. Kabuto jumped off the sinking snake's head to land back down on the ground in front of Naruto, while Jiraiya jumped onto the snakes to face Orochimaru. Seeing Naruto, Kabuto smirked slightly. It's a pleasure being able to face the last 2 senjus on the same day, said Kabuto as he noticed Shizen and Tsunade's shocked faces. Oh, you didn't know? Yes, young Naruto-kun here is as much senju as you are Tsunade-sama. Probably more. He's a senju? Thought Tsunade as she stopped shaking, wondering who Naruto was. And I'm also the guy who's about to kick your ass. Not to mention, you'll also help me win this bet since I really like that necklace and I can have a family member come back with me to Konoha, said Naruto. Orochimaru-sama wanted you to join us, but since you're hanging with that toad then I'll have to kill you. A pity, you were going to be a great ninja one day, said Kabuto. Despite how good you are, Naruto-kun, you won't be able to defeat me. I'm on par with Kakashi Hatake and I know for a fact you still can't beat him. Meaning you can't beat me, said Kabuto with an arrogant smirk on his face. Naruto laughed loudly at Kabuto as he said, You're on par with Kakashi-sensei? I'll believe it when I see it. Naruto made a come-hither motion with his hand as Kabuto's hands became coated with blue chakra. Shizen recognized the technique immediately. Naruto-kun. That is Chakura no Mezu, chakra scalpel. Be careful, he can harm your insides with a mere touch, said Shizen as Naruto nodded his head. So basically stay away from his ass as it wouldn't be wise to let him in close, said Naruto as Kabuto chuckled. Try and keep me away, said Kabuto as he rushed at Naruto with impressive speed. Naruto dodged his first attacks with ease as he kicked him away to gain some distance. However, Kabuto was on Naruto again immediately with another flurry of swipes. Naruto continued dodging Kabuto's lethal strikes as he grunted in effort. Damn, you're annoying to fight. You're fast for a medic nin and one touch is all you need to debilitate your opponent. This sucks, said Naruto as Kabuto smirked again. You're correct, Naruto-kun. I'm just going to keep coming at you until you eventually make a mistake, and then it'll be the end. So just give up now, said Kabuto as he struck out with his left hand but extended too far. Not today, said Naruto as he deftly caught Kabuto by the wrist and slung him away. Naruto slammed his hands in the snake's seal as he said, I've got a better idea. Mokuton, Jukai Koten, wood style, nativity of a sea of trees, said Naruto as he channeled his chakra. The ground surrounding Naruto cracked slightly as a forest emerged from the ground around Kabuto and stood tall after a few seconds. Kabuto tried to jump out of the way of the technique, but the trees appeared too fast, and he got snagged by the branches. Kabuto was held tight by the trees as he couldn't move his body. Shizen and Tsunade looked shocked at the display. Especially Tsunade, as she hadn't seen anyone besides her grandfather do that. That's not possible, thought Tsunade. She noticed her necklace glow again at the presence of Naruto's chakra. He can use Mokuton. That should be impossible. Tsunade was cut from her thoughts as she saw Naruto hold up his right hand, similar to before when the two of them sparred. Prepare to pay up, Bakun, said Naruto as a swirl of chakra appeared in his hand. Come on. Come on. Rotate. Power. Combine, thought Naruto as a perfect Rasengan appeared in his hand. Here I come, Kabuto. Naruto performed a shunshin as he appeared on the branch in front of Kabuto with his jutsu cocked back. This'll hurt. Rasengan! Shouted Naruto as he drove the jutsu into Kabuto's gut. Naruto ground the jutsu into Kabuto as it then exploded and sent Kabuto flying through Naruto's forest, smashing through trees and landing roughly on the ground. Naruto smiled and disappeared again in a shunshin to appear in front of the still shocked Tsunade. I believe you owe me a necklace, said Naruto smiling at the stunned Tsunade. He's just like Nawaki when he grins like that. This kid. Thought Tsunade of the grinning Naruto. As she was thinking that she saw something heading straight for Naruto, and he hadn't noticed it yet. No, 1 minute earlier, Orochimaru looked down from his stalemate fight with the drugged Jiraiya to see his assistant get smashed by a Rasengan. Damn that brat of yours. He's getting too strong. I have to kill him now before he can potentially ruin my plans, said Orochimaru as he took off in a dead sprint toward Naruto. Jiraiya tried stopping Orochimaru but was tossed aside, due to his still being too weak from Tsunade's drug. Orochimaru launched off the snake as something appeared from his mouth. The legendary Kusanagi sword emerged from the serpent's mouth as Naruto's back was turned toward the Sannin as he charged in. Naruto turned at the last second to see Orochimaru closing in on him fast. Not enough time to block with a kunai. If I move, Tsunade Bakkan will be in trouble. Shit. Thought Naruto as Orochimaru was inches away from stabbing him. Orochimaru's sword got a hair away from Naruto's chest when he was blasted by a huge stream of blue fire. Orochimaru was sent skidding on the ground as he eventually stopped, still on fire from the surprise attack. Katon Guka fire style, hellfire, said Yugito as she landed in the field next to Naruto. Yugito's jutsu sent a powerful jet of fire that she aimed right at Orochimaru. Yugito had been watching the whole time and headed in when she saw Naruto defeat Kabuto. It was a good thing too as it put her in the perfect place to see Orochimaru heading toward Naruto and be able to stop him. You owe me, Naruto-kun. Naruto breathed an internal sigh of relief. He then looked at Yugito as he said, and what would suffice as payment? Show me around Konoha when you all return there. I'm sure it'll take a while for your Kage to get instated and look at what my Kage said Yugito with a smile. Naruto smirked slightly. Are you making me go on a date with you? Said Naruto as Yugito returned his smirk. A date? You'll have to work a little harder for that. I'm just asking you to show me around your village. Said Yugito as Naruto smiled. While that was happening, Orochimaru had seemingly regurgitated another Orochimaru that was free of the scorch marks from Yugito's jutsu and turned toward them with a murderous look. I'm going to kill you both! Shouted Orochimaru until he was decked with a punch to the face that sent him careening back toward Naruto's forest. Naruto and Yugito noticed Tsunade standing in his place as she turned to address him. You alright, kid? Asked Tsunade as Naruto nodded. Good, cause I owe you a serious beat down for this senju business and calling me an ant. Yeah, Shizen told me about that other time too. By the way. Started Tsunade as she took off her necklace and placed it around Naruto. You won the bet. Fair and square. It looks nice on you. Finished Tsunade as Naruto smiled at her. Orochimaru stood back up as he cracked his jaw back into place. Tsunade? What are you doing protecting this kid? Why risk your life for a simple genin like him? Tsunade looked back at Orochimaru murderously as she cracked her knuckles. I would risk my life because I am Tsunade Senju, granddaughter of the Shodai Hokage and grandniece of the Naidame Hokage, and as of this moment I am the Godame Hokage of Konoha, said Tsunade as Shizen stood by her sensei's side. Hell yeah, Ba-chan. Kick his ass already so we can go home, said Naruto with enthusiasm. Orochimaru was having none of that. Kabuto, summon Manda, said Orochimaru as Kabuto appeared beside him with a huge hole in his shirt and a spiral mark on his exposed belly. Kabuto drew more blood and wiped it across Orochimaru's tattoo preparing to summon Manda. What? You hit him dead on with a Rasengan? He should be done? Asked Yugito confused as to how he got back up after that. Naruto! Came the shout of Jiraiya as he landed on the ground a little bit away from Tsunade. Naruto grabbed Yugito's hand as he rushed to his sensei's side with Yugito following behind him. Bring out Bunta. Naruto nodded his head and bit his thumb preparing to summon. Tsunade followed suit as she prepared to summon her own boss creature. Kuchios no Jutsu, summoning technique. Came the shout of Tsunade, Naruto, and Kabuto as three huge poofs of smoke went up across the landscape. The smoke cleared to reveal a giant slug, toad, and snake respectively. Gamabunta took a drag from his pipe and blew it out as he said, Well, if it isn't Manda and Katsuyu. How long's it been since I've seen you two? Jiraiya looked down at Gamabunta from atop his head. Bunta, we need your help with this one. We need to take down Orochimaru, said Jiraiya. Sure, why not? I guess I can now finally get that snakeskin wallet I've been wanting, said Gamabunta as Naruto laughed. Why would a toad want a snakeskin wallet? But how did Kabuto get up? That Rasengan was perfect, and I felt it grind into his body. Asked Naruto confused. If he's anything like Orochimaru, he's hell to put down, said Jiraiya. Yugito was pondering a different thing altogether. Hey Naruto-kun. How are all summoned creatures just ready to go? I mean, do they never get summoned by surprise? Asked Yugito as Naruto shrugged. I was wondering the same, but honestly I couldn't figure it out, so I gave up, replied Naruto as he heard Tsunade speak. This is it, Orochimaru. After today, there will be one less Sannin in the world, said Tsunade as she and Shizen stood atop Katsuyu, her slug summon. Orochimaru simply chuckled while Manda hissed underneath him. Orochimaru, what do you think you're doing summoning me out here? Asked Manda in a threatening voice. Kabuto tried to explain, but Manda cut him off. Silence. I won't bother speaking to a flunky like you. When this is over, I'll be expecting over 100 sacrifices. Orochimaru smirked. Of course. Nothing less for you, Manda. Kabuto let loose a breath at that. If Manda knew Orochimaru couldn't use his arms, he may attack him and try to eat us, thought Kabuto. Well, let's get to it, said Jiraiya as Gamabunta drew his tanto and rushed at Manda. Manda evaded the attack and slithered away at a rapid pace. Manda slithered to Gamabunta's blind spot and attempted to bite down into him, but Gamabunta jumped away at the last second to avoid the bite. Gamabunta did lose his sword in his evasion. Manda just continued toward Katsuyu as he had to dodge a spew of acid from the slug's mouth. Manda eventually wrapped himself around Katsuyu and began to constrict the slug summon. Seeing her summon's dilemma, Tsunade barked out an order. Katsuyu. Separate. Listening to her summoner, Katsuyu separated into thousands of mini slugs and merged back into her giant form a distance away from Manda. Manda looked surprised by Katsuyu and as such was a sitting duck for an attack. Bunta, bring the oil, shouted Jiraiya as he went through several hand seals. Jiraiya spewed out a torrent of fire as Gamabunta sent out a jet of oil toward Manda that converged to create a devastating fire. Katan, Gamea Enden, fire release, toad oil flame bombs. The firestorm appeared to melt Manda's figure, but it was revealed to be just his shed skin. Manda then burst from the ground in front of Gamabunta, and prepared to strike him. That was stopped as Manda got hit by an impressive number of wooden branches. Mokuton, Daijin no Jutsu, wood style, great forest technique, said Naruto as he retracted his left arm. Naruto noticed that the jutsu was much stronger than before, and saw the necklace around him glowing. Did this necklace make my Mokuton stronger? It was owned by Hashirama Jiji, so it's possible. Naruto saw Manda looking at him with unbridled fury, as he simply smirked back. That's when he realized something. Where's Tsunade back on? Without missing a beat, Tsunade came crashing down with Gamabunta's sword to pin Manda to the ground through his mouth. Tsunade then ran up Manda's body and began pummeling Orochimaru while Shizen engaged Kabuto. Yugito looked at the scene before her with a pained expression. You think we should help? Asked Yugito as Jiraiya shook his head. Let's let Tsunadeheim take care of this. I mean, she looks like she's doing fine out there, said Jiraiya as he had pulled a telescope out and watched Tsunade mercilessly beat on Orochimaru. Orochimaru can sure take a punch. Anybody else's head would be liquidated at this point, said Naruto. Naruto felt something land on his head as he looked to see Gamakichi there. She isn't playing. I can't watch this. I'm out, said Gamakichi as he and Naruto fist bumped before the toad disappeared in a poof of smoke. Gamabunta did likewise as the trio fell to the earth. As they were falling, Tsunade decked Orochimaru with another punch that sent him sailing away from her almost 100 feet away. Kabuto disengaged Shizen as he appeared by his master's side. Orochimaru sneered at Tsunade as he said, Damn you, Tsunade. But you've only impeded my plans for a little while. There are other ways to heal my arms, and when that happens, I will destroy Konoha and kill all of you. Kabuto and Orochimaru disappeared into the earth as they fled the scene. Man, that guy just wouldn't die, said Tsunade as Shizen, Jiraiya, Naruto, and Yugito landed beside her. Katsuyu and Manda had disappeared shortly after Gamabunta, so it was just those five in the area. We'll get him next time, Tsunadeheim, said Jiraiya as he patted her on the back. Good news is we're headed back to Konoha. You get to become the Godane, Shizen gets to reunite with her old friends, and Naruto gets to show off his girlfriend. Finished Jiraiya as Naruto shook his head slightly. Who said she was my girlfriend, or that I had one for that matter? Asked Naruto as he and Yugito looked confused. She was wondering where girlfriend came from as well. Jiraiya smirked slightly. You still haven't let go of her hand since you grabbed it earlier. And she doesn't seem to mind it one bit at all, said Jiraiya as Naruto and Yugito blushed. Let's just get back to Konoha, shouted Naruto as everyone agreed. Naruto then realized that it was getting dark, calling inaudible. We enjoy one more night, and then head out in the morning. Sounds good to me, brat. See you all in the morning, said Tsunade as Naruto, Yugito, and Jiraiya said goodbye and began walking away. Yugito and Jiraiya were laughing as Naruto seemed to say something funny. He's going to be a fine man when he grows up. And I think I'll help him get there, thought Tsunade as she and Shizen left as well. That night, it was around midnight, and Naruto was sitting on his bed alone in his room. Yugito and Jiraiya had left for their own rooms and were sound asleep. Naruto dug into his backpack as he pulled out something. It was the envelope that Sarutobi had written to him. You going to read that now, Naruto? Asked Kurama as he was also anxious to see what was inside as well. No time like the present, said Naruto as he opened the envelope. It contained a letter as Naruto opened it and read the first line. Hello Naruto-kun, here we go, thought Naruto as he read through the rest of the letter. Chapter 15, Settling In. How could you not know the Gaki was a senju? Asked Jiraiya incredulously to Tsunade. Tsunade merely shrugged, the brat's 14 years old. Sarutobi-sensei sent me a letter every 5 years. I got one when the Kyuubi attacked, 5 years after that, Naruto age 5, and 5 years after that one, Naruto age 10. He sent me a fourth one about a year later, Naruto age 11, but I lost it escaping a debt collector, said a sheepish Tsunade, ashamed at losing important Konoha information. Damn. The brat has really wanted to meet you for so long, but at least you'll be back now, said Jiraiya as Tsunade nodded. It was time to head back to Konoha and everyone was ready to go. Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Shizen were all outside the city walls as Yugito was walking up to the trio. However, Naruto was nowhere to be seen. Where the hell is the Gaki? He's never late, not since I've been with him. You haven't seen Naruto, have you, Yugito? Asked Jiraiya. Yugito shook her head. No, Jiraiya-sama. I haven't seen him at all. He's not in trouble, is he? No, I wouldn't think so. You've seen the brat fight. He could take on damn near anyone. Plus we'd feel his presence if he was fighting someone powerful. Maybe I'll summon a toad to find him. You guys go ahead, we'll catch up, said Jiraiya. The ladies all nodded and began to walk away from Tanzakagai toward Konoha, chatting all the while. Jiraiya waited another 5 minutes until he decided to find Naruto. Right before he could bite his thumb to summon a toad, Jiraiya heard a shout and the sound of a person landing. I'm right here, shouted Naruto as he landed next to Jiraiya. Sorry about that. I got lost on the road of life, said Naruto as Jiraiya's sweat dropped at that excuse. Damn Gaki, you need to find a better excuse, said Jiraiya as he took notice of Naruto's attire. Trying to look like your sensei, eh? Nice scroll. Naruto had a huge scroll strapped to his back in the same way that Jiraiya did. He had put back on his Anbu uniform sans mask and had a black strap across his chest that held the scroll to his back. Jiraiya noticed something special about the scroll though. Is that the scroll of seals? How do you have it? It was given to me by Jiji, Jiraiya Kyofu, godfather, said Naruto as Jiraiya's expression became one of shock. You read Sensei's letter then? Naruto nodded his head. Yeah, I did. Flashback. Last night, it was around midnight, and Naruto was sitting on his bed alone in his room. Yugito and Jiraiya had left to their own rooms and were sound asleep. Naruto dug into his backpack as he pulled out something. It was the envelope that Sarutobi had written to him. You going to read that now, Naruto? Asked Kurama as he was also anxious to see what was inside as well. No time like the present, said Naruto as he opened the envelope. It contained a letter as Naruto opened it and read the first line. Hello Naruto-kun, here we go, thought Naruto as he read through the rest of the letter. Letter start. I wrote this letter in hopes that I would never have to let you read it because if you do, then I am no longer alive. This letter entails what I promised to tell you when you were 8 years old. That once you become strong enough, I would tell you about your parents. You were more than strong enough a while ago, but I kept prolonging telling you because I didn't know how you'd react. But no more of that because I promised to do it at the end of the Chunin exams. Your name, Naruto, comes from the book of you and your father's sensei, Jiraiya. Naruto, you are the son of Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage. I know it's hard to believe, but yes, you are indeed his son. Minato couldn't choose someone else's child for the ceiling if he wasn't willing to sacrifice his own. Minato was a shrewd man, rarely doing something without reason. I'm sure there was another reason besides keeping the balance of power between the nations equal for placing the Kyuubi in you. There was probably an enemy shinobi who took the Kyuubi and set it on the village while your mother was giving birth to you. Yes, your mother was the Jinchuriki before you and the seal weakened during childbirth. We set up many security parameters to prevent that from happening. Not to mention that your father and mother were seal masters. It might have been hard to keep the Kyuubi at bay, but I believe they could have done it. That's why I believe that there was another shinobi there who interfered with the sealing. But that's just purely speculation. Maybe the Kyuubi did just get free. We'll never know as we weren't there. Your mother was a beautiful woman. Kushina was a very level-headed and often cheerful young woman. Even though she usually had a calm and kind demeanor, she did have quite the temper on her, and occasionally lashed out at those that angered her. She was also fearless and, more than anything, loved your father and you very much. Kushina is also special to Konoha as she is the first great-granddaughter of Mito Uzumaki and Hashirama Senju. This came to be because her grandmother, Hashirama and Mito's first child, was sent to Yuzushiogakure, Hidden Edi village, the village that housed the famous Uzumaki clan where Mito originated from. She was sent there due to the agreement between Konoha and Yuzushio that a child of Hashirama and Mito would eventually be sent back to their village to live and cement our already strong alliance. Years later, as Mito, the first Kyuubi Jinchuriki, was reaching the end of her lifespan, Kushina was sent back to the village to become its second Jinchuriki. She had the chakra and ability to restrain Jinchuriki just like her great-grandmother. So you were indeed already related to Hashirama-sensei before you even discovered your Mokutan ability. I didn't have a lot of time to write this letter as it's about an hour away from the start of the Chunin exams, but I trust this answered your questions. I'm sure you're gonna grow stronger and even one day surpass all of the Hokages. I entrust the village with you, Naruto-kun. Please protect it always. I'll be looking down from above, so do impress. To help you on your journey, I've decided to give you a gift. A gift that was originally your forefathers. Please use it well and be sure to continue your dreams. When the tree leaves dance, one shall find flames. The fire's shadow will illuminate the village, and once again, tree leaves shall bud anew. Letter end. The letter came with a picture. A picture of a pregnant Kushina with Minato rubbing her belly. They both were looking happy and lovingly at Kushina's pregnant belly, which contained Naruto. Naruto cried a little bit as he looked the picture over. "To-san, father, Kaa-chan, mother," said Naruto. "I really was loved. I had parents that loved me. Kaa-chan is so pretty. We have the same eyes and she has beautiful red hair. I had a mother and father that wanted me." Naruto had several more tears fall from his face as he continued to look at the picture of his parents. There was a seal at the end of his letter, but he hadn't bothered opening it yet. Naruto said Kurama until Naruto cut him off. "You knew? This whole time?" asked Naruto. "You were sealed into my mother and my great-great-grandmother, and didn't tell me." Kurama stayed quiet as Naruto continued to weep. "I had my suspicions that I was his son. Who else has golden blonde hair like this? That's why I cut it this way. It was the only thing that made sense. But, to actually see it, and know it's true, I don't know how to feel." Naruto sat staring at the words written by Hiruzen for several more minutes until he heard Kurama speak again. "Of course I knew. I could have told you, but that old man seemed like the one who wanted to. I felt it wasn't my right to take that away from him," said Kurama. But the old man was right. There was interference that day. A shinobi who wielded the Sharingan. He took you hostage and separated your father from your mother. Since Kushina's seal was weakened at the time due to childbirth, he managed to rip me from the seal and control me with that detestable Sharingan. Your father eventually stopped me and managed to seal me into you at that point. Though it did cost your parents their lives as I attempted to kill you, but they jumped in the way. I'm sorry about that." Naruto sat for a few more minutes pondering Kurama's words. "It's fine. You probably didn't want to be sealed again. I wouldn't want either. But this guy you speak of, with the ability to control you with his Sharingan, is he still alive? If so, could you point him out to me?" asked Naruto in a gravely serious tone at the last part. "I'm not sure. But yes, I could if you ever came across him." "Why?" asked Kurama, even though he already knew the answer. "I'm going to kill him for what he's done," said Naruto as Kurama grinned and nodded. Kurama wanted a piece of that bastard too. "Nobody controls me with a Sharingan and gets away with it," said Kurama until he realized something. "Except Madara Uchiha, who did it but died before I could get to him. He got away with it. But most people who control me with a Sharingan don't get away with it." "Well, actually, Madara was the only one who ever controlled me with a Sharingan. So after we get that punk, only half the people who controlled me with a Sharingan will have gotten away with it," finished Kurama as he got a slight laugh out of Naruto. Naruto then remembered the last part of Sarutobi's letter and placed his hand over the seal. A poof of smoke later, and a huge scroll landed in Naruto's lap. The scroll of seals? Said Naruto as he recognized the scroll. Why did he give it to me? It's supposed to be for the Hokage's eyes only? Well, it was owned by Hashirama Senju. It probably has techniques in there that someone with your ability can use. Plus, he knew it would safer in your hands anyway. It was stolen once before, remember? Said Kurama as Naruto nodded. Yeah. Mizuki became a traitor and tried to steal it. Who's to say someone else won't? I'll let Jiraiya-sensei, Jiraiya Kyofu and Tsunade Baka know in the morning. Said Naruto. Naruto destroyed Sarutobi's letter as he laid back down to get some rest. Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto didn't get much rest that night as he sat up thinking about his parents. Flashback end. Jiraiya looked at Naruto as he said, "So you know I'm your godfather." Yeah. It's pretty cool actually. Why do you think I called you Jiraiya Kyofu? Asked Naruto as he saw Jiraiya's shocked expression. What? You're not even mad or anything? I could have raised you? Asked Jiraiya as he picked back up his jaw. Meh, said Naruto nonchalantly. Why should I be? There's no use crying over the past. I'm not going to be a chump and bitch about why you were never around. I never asked to be checked on, I just wanted to find someone to acknowledge me and I got that with Gigi and a few others. Plus, you had duties to attend to and probably your own things to deal with, since Minato was your student. Said Naruto as he then took on a thoughtful expression. Plus, I couldn't imagine what I'd be like if I had you as an active influence on my life during my childhood. And now, at least I know who gave me my sweet little Gamachan. Naruto pulled out what appeared to be a wallet shaped like a toad and rubbed it against his face lovingly. Jiraiya smiled down at Naruto. You took that better than anyone could have expected, Gaki. I'm proud of you. So are you going to change your name or something? Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Senju or something weird like that. That would be too stupid and I still don't think you should tell people about your parents, said Jiraiya as Naruto shook his head in agreement. What the hell kinda name is that? That's way too long in the first place. Being a senju is fine enough and I understand about not telling people about my father and mother. I already have a huge bounty. I don't need a bigger one. Said Naruto. Well, great then, kid. Let's get on the road. And maybe we'll find a better way to conceal that scroll. Said Jiraiya as Naruto nodded. Well, Orochimaru did seal a summoning contract on his arm. I'll probably put a tattoo on me to store the scroll in and only take it out when I need it. Can you do something like? Said Naruto as Jiraiya smiled. Of course. We'll do it when we get back to Konoha. Let's catch up to the girls first. Said Jiraiya as he and Naruto took to the treetops to catch up. Konoha, several hours later. Man. Today is so boring. Shouted Kotetsu as he slammed his forehead onto the desk of the guard booth. Kotetsu had been assigned gate guard duty again, and was really getting bored with what was going on, or rather the lack of what was going on. Izumo chuckled slightly. You're right, but I have a feeling something good will happen. The last time I felt this feeling was when we saw that Anbu with Jiraiya-sama, said Izumo. Izumo then noticed several figures approaching in the distance. Seems some people are coming. Kotetsu got prepared to write down their names as he then gasped slightly. That's Tsunade-sama! Shouted Izumo as he recognized the blonde lady in front of them. She's with Jiraiya-sama and Shizun-san, and that same Anbu. Did they return her to the village? Wait, that's Naruto. Naruto! Naruto looked toward the gate as he saw Izumo and Kotetsu. Those were the Chunin who placed that genjutsu on the door during the Chunin exams. Oh hey guys. Damn, you guys stay at this gate? Do you guys have eternal gate guards in Kumo Yugi-chan? Asked Naruto as he turned to Yugito. She had gone unnoticed by Izumo and Kotetsu up until that point. Yugito laughed slightly. Yeah, we do. They are always at the gate as well. Ever since I could remember. Started Yugito until she was stopped by Kotetsu from entering Konoha. I'm sorry, ma'am. We cannot allow you to enter our village under any circumstance, said Kotetsu as Yugito shook her head. But I'm here to show our treaty papers to your Hokage. The previous 10-year agreement is ending soon and I'm here to re-establish it. Here are my papers, said Yugito as Izumo shook his head. That's the thing. We don't have a Hokage at this point, so we can't allow you to enter. Sorry, said Izumo. Izumo then heard a series of coughs from Naruto that sounded vaguely like Tsunade is the new Hokage. She's fine. I'm the Godame Hokage, so she has my permission. So could you please let her through? Asked Tsunade as Izumo fainted in shock. Yes, ma'am. Godame-sama. As you all were, said Kotetsu as he dragged Izumo back into the guard booth. The group of 5 and a pig headed toward the Hokage Tower as Kotetsu tried waking up his partner. Damn Izumo, you were right, it did get interesting. Tsunade, Shizen, Jiraiya, Naruto, and Yugito all arrived in the Hokage Tower and were situated in Tsunade's new office. I can't believe I came back here. Let alone became the Hokage, said Tsunade as she took in a deep breath and exhaled. Naruto smiled and threw a hand around Tsunade's shoulder. But you are, and it's for the best. The village needed you, and it's definitely going to be much better off with you back here, said Naruto as Tsunade smiled. We'll see about that, brat. But technically you're the only Konoha ninja I've met, and I'm sure there's a crap ton of stuff I have to do before I can truly settle in. So get the hell out of my office and do something with your life. I'm sure I'll see you again soon. We have many things to discuss, Naruto, senju, said Tsunade as Naruto nodded in understanding. Naruto looked at Yugito expectantly. Oh right, said Yugito as she pulled out the scroll written by the Raikage and handed it to Tsunade. Tsunade opened the scroll and read through its contents quickly. After about a minute or so, Tsunade nodded. Looks good. I'll give you a reply scroll after a couple of days once I consult with a few people. For now, welcome to Konoha, said Tsunade as she smiled at Yugito. Yugito looked shocked. You're not even going to have someone watch me? I'm a foreign shinobi in your village? I mean no harm, but really? Said Yugito until she heard Naruto go through another fit of coughs. Though these coughs sounded like I'll be watching you, don't worry. I already have a ninja guarding you. He's right here, now get going, Naruto and Yugito. I have things to do, said Tsunade. Shall we, Yugi-chan? Asked Naruto as he held out an arm for Yugito. Yugito smiled at the gesture and linked arms with Naruto as they walked out of the office. Now, time to get to business. Shizen, please alert all shinobi of Chunin rank or higher that they will have a meeting with me personally, as I need to get acquainted with the shinobi here. I'm sure the elders will be here to talk soon too, so be prepared for that. I'm pretty sure I'll have a coronation tomorrow. Damn, I hate speeches. Oh, and, said Tsunade. Jiraiya was trying to sneak out of the window, but Tsunade grabbed his collar. Jiraiya, you're helping me. You got me into this mess, then you can help me get settled in. That's an order. Jiraiya cried anime tears as he was forced to stay and help out Tsunade. He had wanted to go do some research at the hot springs but was now stuck with Tsunade for the day. Naruto's apartment. So this is where you live? Asked Yugito as she sat upon Naruto's couch. Naruto had taken her to his apartment so he could change out of his Anbu uniform. This is home. Ever since I was 6 years old I've been here. Called out Naruto from his room. You know, kitten. That boy is probably naked in there right now. You should just walk in there right now, push him onto his bed and climb on top of the, started Yugito's bijou until she cut her off. Yugito was blushing a serious shade of red. You know, this seems very suggestive, Naruto-kun, said Yugito as Naruto walked out of the room. Well, excuse me. I'm not that easy, Yugi-chan. You have to buy me dinner first, said Naruto, as Yugito laughed slightly. He was wearing a simple gray shirt with a black Senju clan emblem on the back and black pants with black shinobi sandals. He left his forehead protector today as his hair fell slightly to cover his forehead, and he put the scroll of seals into a smaller scroll which placed that in his ninja pouch. Let's show you Konoha, said Naruto as he and Yugito exited his apartment. You were just in the Hokage Tower, and a little bit away is the academy, right over here. Naruto walked Yugito around Konoha, pointing out places of interest, running through a little detail on each of them. As Naruto was walking Yugito around, he was being greeted by civilians calling him a hero. A hero, huh? Said Yugito with an interested smirk. Naruto smiled back. Something like that. Though I wouldn't call myself a hero. I was merely doing my job as any other ninja would, said Naruto as Yugito shook her head slightly. That's exactly what a hero would say, said Yugito. Her stomach then growled slightly as Naruto took notice. I know the perfect place for dinner, said Naruto, still smiling as he touched Yugito's shoulder. The next instant, Naruto and Yugito vanished in a powerful shunshin. As they vanished, a person who had been stalking the two ever since she saw them looked up shocked at the quick disappearance. Naruto and Yugito's stalker blew the bang out of her face as she thought, Naruto-kun's back. But who's that girl with him? What the hell is she doing with my man? I have to get to the bottom of this, thought the person as she went around Konoha searching for Naruto again. Naruto and Yugito appeared on top of a building as Naruto jumped down back to the street. I will never get over how fast your shunshin speed is. It's incredible, said Yugito as she joined Naruto on the ground in front of the restaurant. This is the place? Ichiraku's? Trust me. It's the best ramen. No food in the world, said Naruto as he opened the flap for him and Yugito to step inside. Yo, old man, and I am Chan. I'm back. Out from the back came the owner of the restaurant, Tucci. Naruto, my boy. You're back. And oh ho? Who's the pretty lady with you? Asked Tucci as Yugito blushed slightly. This is Kumo's Hellcat, Yugito ni. She's in town for a little while as we do peace talks between villages, said Naruto, who stopped Tucci from asking his next question. Yes, we have a new Hokage. It's Tsunade back on. Tucci nodded his head and smiled happily at the announcement. Tsunade-sama is the new Hokage. That's great news. So great that your meal is on the house, Naruto, and your dates too, said Tucci as Naruto fist pumped in the air. Hell yeah! Shouted Naruto as he and Yugito ordered their food. As they sat and ate, several figures were spying on them. Holy shit! Said one of the spies with a small dog on his head barking in agreement. Naruto sure knows a hot chick when he sees one. Get it in, bro. As he said that, he was elbowed in the side by a blonde. Shut up, Kiba. We're here to find out what that girl wants with my Naruto-kun, said the blonde as a pink-haired girl agreed. Ino's right, Kiba, but sheesh. That chick is amazing. She's everything you want to be, Ino. She's got the curves, the style, and started the pink-haired girl until she was cut off by Kiba. Boobs. Not like the girls from our class, like Sakura and you, Ino. All flat-chested and underdeveloped, said Kiba as he realized Akamaru was gone. Akamaru? Where'd you go, boy? Kiba heard Akamaru bark several feet away. Idiot? Why would he call me a? Thought Kiba until he was hit by a huge amount of killing intent. What was that, Kiba? Asked Ino as she cracked her knuckles. You want to repeat what you said about girls from your class, specifically me and Sakura? Finished Ino as Sakura cracked her knuckles too. I said, shit, said Kiba as he got pummeled to the floor by a righteous Ino and Sakura. As Sakura and Ino were pummeling Kiba, they didn't realize they had their own audience. Sakura and Ino-chan. Ino and Sakura froze at the voice. Mid-punch, Ino looked up with a smile. Naruto-kun. Hi. When'd you get back? Said Ino as she straightened up along with Sakura. Not too long ago. Why are you beating down on Kiba? Asked Naruto as Ino and Sakura smiled sheepishly. Before they could answer, Kiba beat them to the punch. 'Cause they're jealous of the hot girl beside you, said Kiba. Yugito laughed slightly as Naruto looked amused. Well then. This is Yugito, a Kumo ninja. She's here to negotiate a treaty between our villages. Yes, we have a new Hokage. It's Tsunade back on, said Naruto as Sakura perked up. Tsunade as in Tsunade Senju, one of the 3 Sannin? She's here? Asked Sakura as Naruto nodded. Sakura took off at that announcement. She was a budding medic nin, and who better to talk to than the greatest one in the world. Kiba had already stumbled away, leaving Ino alone with the other blondes. Ino smiled awkwardly as she said, well, I think my father needs me at the flower shop. Bye. Finished Ino as she took off. Yugito smirked slightly. Seems someone is a woman killer. I hope your little stalker didn't think we never noticed her before just now, said Yugito as Naruto shook his head slightly with a smile. Naruto noticed the sun going down and got another idea. Hey Yugi-chan, you want to see my favorite spot in all of Konoha? Especially during this time of day. Naruto didn't wait for Yugito to answer as he grabbed her hand and vanished in another shunshin. Several minutes later, Yugito understood why this was Naruto's favorite spot. It's beautiful, said Yugito. Naruto had taken them to the top of the Hokage monument on the Yandame's head to watch the sunset. Naruto smiled slightly. Yeah, it is. I come up here just to watch it all. My village and the view of the sunset that paints it a beautiful shade, said Naruto as he didn't notice Yugito staring at him. He's so amazing. And doesn't even realize it, thought Yugito as her Bija nodded in agreement. You could make him realize, kitten, said the Nibi as Yugito became confused internally. Sensing her Jinchuriki's wonder, Nibi decided to elaborate. All you have to do is tear his clothes off and ride him until he started the Nibi until she was cut off by Yugito. Thank you, Nibi, thought Yugito as she and Naruto watched the sun go down. Eventually, Yugito yawned slightly and it didn't escape Naruto's attention. Tired? Asked Naruto as Yugito nodded slightly. Well, let's get you to a bed. Naruto and Yugito stood up as Naruto gestured for her to get on his back. You do realize I can walk to a hotel, right? Said Yugito even though she still climbed onto Naruto's back. Naruto smirked slightly and began to walk down the mountain face using chakra to stay attached to it. I know. I just have this fetish for carrying beautiful women. Sorry about that, said Naruto with a smile. Yugito blushed again as Naruto continued to a local inn in Konoha to drop Yugito off for the night. 2 days later. 2 days had passed since Naruto returned to Konoha with Tsunade. Konoha introduced her as their 5th Hokage the day after their arrival. After her coronation, Naruto took Yugito to the hospital to meet Sasuke. Sasuke had been in a coma since Itachi used his jutsu on him. Tsunade had healed him earlier and Naruto decided to visit his friend. The visit was cool. Sasuke kept calling Yugito Naruto's girlfriend, but they denied it every time. The only weird thing about the visit was that Naruto almost knocked over an old man with a cane. The old man had bandages around his right eye and an X on his chin. Upon asking Sasuke who that was, Sasuke said he had no clue, just a civilian trying to make sure he was fine. Naruto nodded his head but kinda was wondering if that really was what happened. Today though, Naruto and Yugito were headed to Tsunade's office. Naruto had been summoned by a hawk telling him to come and bring Yugito as well. Naruto and Yugito arrived in Tsunade's office to see Kakashi, Sasuke, Asuma, Shikamaru, Kurenai, and Shino standing in front of Tsunade's desk. Seated in Tsunade's desk was Tsunade herself with Shizen and Jiraiya standing behind her. Shikaku Nara, Konoha's Jonin commander, was also in the office along with Konoha's council, Hamura Mitokado and Koharu Udatane. Naruto stood beside Sasuke as Tsunade addressed everyone. Nice to see you arrive, brat. Now we can get this started. I have gone over the recommendations and performances from the recent Chunin exams. You 4 did extremely well. Shikamaru Nara, for your well-thought-out strategy and excellent use of your clan's jutsu and know-how of when to get away, you are being promoted to Chunin. Come get your flak jacket, said Tsunade as Shikamaru lazily walked over to Shizen to grab his new jacket. Shikamaru sighed as he grabbed his flak jacket. Troublesome, now I have to do more missions and they'll be harder. Troublesome, said Shikamaru as Asuma patted him on the back. Damn, he's lazy. Didn't even get excited, thought Tsunade as she moved on to the next genin. Shino Aburame, for great planning against your opponent and amazing prowess in your family's jutsu, you are being promoted to Chunin. Come get your flak jacket, said Tsunade as Shino moved to get his flak jacket. Thank you, Hokage-sama, said Shino as he grabbed his flak jacket and moved back beside a smiling Kurenai. Sasuke Uchiha, for a great display of taijutsu, genjutsu, and ninjutsu. Great mastery of fire techniques and your dojutsu, along with finishing your matches with efficiency, and your help during the invasion. You are being promoted to Chunin. Come and grab your flak jacket, said Tsunade as Sasuke smirked slightly. Sasuke walked up and grabbed his flak jacket as he said, thank you. Sasuke then turned to Naruto. Told you I'd get my flak jacket before you. Naruto chuckled slightly at Sasuke, who walked back beside him. Naruto senju, said Tsunade as Naruto looked unexcited at this moment. For a great display of ability well above genin level, maybe even chunin level. Including the controlled use of your bijou, the display of a Kekai Genkai only seen once, and your assistance during the invasion. I hereby promote you to Chunin. Please come get your flak jacket. Naruto strode over to Shizen and grabbed his vest as he also got a hug from Shizen. Naruto walked back beside Sasuke as Tsunade smiled at her new Chunins. Congratulations to all of you for your promotions. Do Konoha proud, said Tsunade. Shino and Kurenai, you may leave. I have something for these 3. Finished Tsunade as Kurenai and Shino nodded and exited the office. Koharu, Hamura, and Shikaku also left as this part had nothing to do with them. Good. Now that they're gone, Shikamaru, I have a letter for you. It's from the Fire Daimyo asking for you to become one of his personal guardians. It's up to you, so think about it, and give me your answer before the week is up, said Tsunade as she handed Shikamaru a letter. Troublesome, said Shikamaru as he grabbed the letter and left along with Asuma. Yugito ni. I have a response for you to return to your Reikage when you go back. I'm certain that will be within the day, so have a great trip back. It was a pleasure getting to know you, and I'm certain I'll see you again. I need to speak to Sasuke and Naruto in private for a second, so if you could please wait outside for a little bit. I'm sure you want to say goodbye to your boyfriend, so I'll try to get him out quickly, said Tsunade as she handed a blushing Yugito a scroll as she then exited. As soon as she left, an Anbu in a tiger mask appeared from the floorboard. Naruto recognized the Anbu immediately. Tora-sensei. Does this mean it's time? Thought Naruto Senju and Sasuke Uchiha. I'm assuming you both still want to be Anbu, said Tora as they both nodded their heads. Good. Be at this location at 8 a.m. sharp. Don't be late. And only bring yourselves and your Anbu equipment. See you then. Finished Tora as he dissolved back into the floorboard. Well, I'm out of here. Good luck tomorrow, you two. I'm so proud of you guys, have fun, said Kakashi as he poofed away in a shunshin. See you tomorrow morning, Sasuke, said Naruto as he and Sasuke fist bumped. Naruto walked out of Tsunade's office as he found Yugito seated outside. You wanna go get your stuff? Asked Naruto as Yugito nodded. Naruto and Yugito walked to go and get her stuff ready to leave. After about an hour, Naruto and Yugito were situated at the village gate. Well, this looks like it's it for a while, said Yugito as Naruto nodded. True that. Unless you decide to come to find me again, I wouldn't mind that at all, said Naruto as Yugito smiled. Yugito lunged at Naruto, who was unprepared for her sudden movement. Yugito wrapped her arms around his neck in a hug. Thank you for this past week. It's been one of the best of my lives, said Yugito, still pressed into Naruto. Naruto finally got over his shock and hugged her back. No problem. We'll make a better one next time we meet. That's a promise, said Naruto, still hugging Yugito. Yugito could feel Naruto's ever-prominent warmth. Yugito gathered some courage from said warmth and moved her head back slightly, which made Naruto look toward her. Before he could say or do anything, Yugito pressed her lips against his. It was a fast kiss and barely more than a peck. It did, however, let Naruto feel Yugito's soft lips, and he even tried to lean back in to continue it, but Yugito spoke first. Don't tell anyone that happened. That was just my way of saying thank you, don't look into it, said Yugito as she walked away from Naruto. Or do. Either or is fine with me. Naruto watched Yugito turn and walk away. As she walked away, Yugito was swaying her hips ever so slightly, and Naruto couldn't help but notice every curve of her perfect body. That's just not fair, thought Naruto as he watched her all the way until she disappeared off the path. Damn. You were winning this whole time and then she hits you with that. Yugito 1, Naruto 0. Good luck evening the score, said Kurama as Naruto smirked slightly. I'll definitely even the score. But first, I need to see Jiraiya-sensei about that tattoo, then I'll get prepped for tomorrow, big day ahead, thought Naruto as he walked back through the gate. Hell yeah, Naruto. Bagging that Kumo bombshell. I saw that kiss just now. Way to go, shouted Izumo at the gate. Izumo and Kotetsu had watched Naruto and Yugito the whole time and clearly caught all the action. Naruto rubbed the back of his neck sheepishly as he vanished in a shunshin to escape that conversation. Damn, he's gone already? You get the picture for Jiraiya-sama? Asked Izumo as Kotetsu nodded and held up a picture. You know I did. Aika Makeout Tactics, first edition with his autograph. Score, said Kotetsu as he held up the picture of Yugito and Naruto mid-kiss. The next morning, Naruto arrived at the location given to him by Tora. It was a subtle gesture with his hands as he spoke that Naruto guessed was a sort of test to make sure you were Anbu material. Naruto was wearing his Anbu uniform and had bandages wrapped around his right shoulder down to his bicep. Naruto noticed Sasuke walk up about 2 minutes later and held out a fist to his friend. Nice of you to catch that yesterday, said Naruto as Sasuke smirked. He flashed his Sharingan. I have the best eyes out of us too, of course, I caught that small detail. You ready to be an Anbu? It's hard out there, said Sasuke, bumping fist with Naruto as he let his Sharingan fade. Naruto nodded his head until he realized something. Hard out there? What do you mean? Have you been out there before? Asked Naruto as he questioned Sasuke. Sasuke had been acting fishy lately. Before Sasuke could answer, an Anbu in a snake mask appeared. Hello, recruits. Today marks the start of your specialized training to become an official Anbu, said Hibi, Snake, as Naruto looked confused. Training? I thought we were already in, asked Naruto as he got a sense of dread from Hibi. He could feel the sinister smile of the Anbu that only one lady he knew had. Of course Anko is Hibi, oh no, thought Naruto as Hibi pulled out a kunai. No, my dear Gaki. That was just an invitation. The real fun begins now, and if you survive these next 2 months then you'll make it. If not, then you'll not be one, you may even die. Who knows? Said Hibi as she then said, Welcome to hell. 2 months later, there was a full moon tonight as 2 figures stood atop the Hokage Tower. They were both clad in Anbu uniforms, one with a raised collar and hawk mask on. The other was standing with his golden blonde hair swaying with the gentle breeze as he held his Gamma mask in his hand. It was Naruto and Sasuke dressed in the same Anbu uniforms they wore during the Chunin exams with swords now strapped to their backs. You ready? Asked Sasuke through his mask. Naruto placed on his own mask and replied, Ready. At that word, Both of the two vanished into thin air and arrived in front of a building. Right outside the door, Tsunade was standing there waiting for them. As the two landed, Tsunade nodded her head at the two who nodded back in reply. Tsunade looked proud at the two shinobi in front of her. One was her nephew and the other was his best friend. They were ready. From everything she had seen in the past 2 months, they were as formidable as they come. Two ninjas who were well on their way to becoming the best. Both of them were friends and also rivals. For a brief moment, Tsunade thought she saw her grandfather in Madara, but she quickly dispelled that thought as she opened the door and escorted the two new Anbu inside. It was time for Gamma and Taka's Hawk initiation into Anbu. As the Hokage, it was Tsunade's job to oversee the initiation ceremony. After all, they were directly chosen by her and meant to serve her, so of course, she would be there. Tsunade opened a huge double door as she motioned for Naruto and Sasuke to enter. Upon entering, Naruto and Sasuke noticed several Anbu standing around a small lighted area in a circle. Naruto and Sasuke both entered the small circle as then noticed Kakashi standing there reading his orange book. Kakashi-sensei. Of course he'd be here. He was an Anbu captain, thought Naruto as Tsunade stepped in front of the two recruits. All of the surrounding Anbu, including Naruto and Sasuke, bowed at Tsunade's appearance. Kakashi merely threw out a mock salute as he continued to read his book. My fellow shinobi, we are here today to welcome two recruits into Anbu. Gamma, Taka, please step forward, said Tsunade as Naruto and Sasuke approached Tsunade. The other Anbu picked their heads back up as Tsunade continued to speak. They have passed the trials of an Anbu and have been sworn in to protect Konoha at all costs. By the power invested in me by Konoha, I hereby announce Naruto Senju and Sasuke Uchiha as official members of the Anbu Black Ops. Welcome your new brothers. As Tsunade said that, the swirl marks on Naruto and Sasuke's left arm, between their shoulder and bicep, glowed red until it became its original black again. Several of the surrounding Anbu came down to greet the new members. How you do think they'll do? Asked Tsunade as Kakashi snapped his book closed. I'm sure they'll be fine, Tsunade-sama. Trust me, I was their sensei after all, said Kakashi as Tsunade nodded. Seems they'll be just fine. Thought Tsunade watching Naruto and Sasuke interact with their new teammates. Chapter 16, Secrets. Time skip 3 months later. Haha. Damn right. That had to be the easiest village yet, shouted a man with an IWA headband on. He was surrounded by a little over 20 other shinobi, all with different headbands representing Mizu, IWA, and 2 from Konoha. They all had one thing in common, their headbands all had a long slash through them, signaling their statuses as missing needs. A Mizu shinobi laughed. Of course. A civilian village like that can't stop a group of shinobi. Especially with our invincible leader Aoi. Matter of fact, said the missing nin as he looked toward a cage filled with women of various ages. I think I'll take one of our captures for a spin. A few others nodded their heads in agreement and joined in. As the men approached the cage, the women screamed in fear. While that was taking place, an Anbu with a toad mask appeared in the treetops above them. Directly opposite of him, another Anbu in a hawk mask also appeared. To their left and right, an Anbu with purple hair and a cat mask appeared along with a bird-masked Anbu. The cat-masked Anbu was the captain of the squad, Yugao Yuzuki. A capable kunoichi and experienced Anbu captain. She is an expert kenjutsu user and the leader of the group of 4. Over a small radio, Nico, Cat, began handing out orders to her squad. Gamma, secure the women and find our target, Aoi Rokusho. Torai, Bird, move the women to safety. Taka and I will eliminate the rest. Go! Shouted Nico as all of the Anbu sprung into action. Hurry up, Aoi, and open the gate! Shouted an angered IWA ninja toward a Konoha missing nin in a Chunin flak jacket. He looked to respond until a wooden dome appeared in front of the women, completely blocking them off from the missing nins. Gamma landed on top of that wooden dome holding the snake's seal. Mokutan, Mokujihiki, wood style, wood locking wall. Thought Gamma as Tori appeared behind the wall to get the women to safety. What, Konoha Anbu? Thought Aoi as he was cut from his musings by the sound of birds chirping behind him. Aoi turned to see Taka rip through a shinobi with a chidori and Nico slice cleanly into another with her katana. Both died on the spot. Shit, they found me. Oh well. Thought Aoi as he yelled out orders. Intruders. Fight until we kill them all. The group of men cheered as they all separated to face off against their foes. Aoi pulled out what appeared to be the hilt of a sword as he looked toward the Anbu standing on the domed wall. with Taka. Taka flung the dead shinobi off of his hand as he let his Chidori dissipate. Upon doing so, he noticed 8 shinobis staring him down, all hailing from Mizu. Heh. Let's see if those from Mizu dance well, said Taka, turning his face to look at all of them behind his hawk mask. Dance? Whatever, you are so dead meat for killing Kajika, said one of the ninja as he went through several hand seals along with the others. Suetun, Mizurappa, water style, violent water wave, shouted the group of shinobi as they fired a powerful jet of water at the purple-masked Anbu. The combined attack created a huge depression in the earth as everything in its path was destroyed. Seeing no trace of the Anbu, the missing Nin laughed. That sure was easy. Let's go help out the others, said the ninja as he turned to head toward another opponent. However, upon turning, he came face to face with a white mask that had an enchanting red glow coming from the eye holes. How did he survive? Thought the shinobi until he fell into a deep sleep from being placed under a genjutsu. Taka threw a kunai into his head to make sure he was finished. He then turned to the rest of the group as his hands sparked with electricity. Taka took off, tearing into the rest of the Mizu shinobi with gusto. He dealt with his group easily as they were no better than genins. With Nico, seems Aoi was hanging out with only genins. This will be an easy recapture, thought Nico as she jumped to dodge an IWA shinobi's sword slash. While still in midair, Nico swung her sword in a counterclockwise circle, leaving after images of her sword all the way around. Abrazukio, hazy moon night, said Nico. She then swung her sword forward as she landed and sprinted through the 10 shinobi surrounding her with incredible speed. There were after images of her cutting the surrounding IWA shinobi, who all received powerful slashes or stabs in vital areas at roughly the same time, seemingly sending them to their deaths. Nico then placed her hand on her radio. Taka, when you finish up, assist Gamma. I will help Tori with getting all the women away, said Nico. Hearing a HN on the other side of the radio from Taka, she scoffed slightly. Disrespectful brat. Nico took off to assist Tori in evacuating the women as Taka went to join Gamma and facing off against Aoi and his group. With Gamma, hey asshole! What the hell do you think you're doing? Those are our women, said an angered IWA ninja as he stared at the toad-faced Anbu. Another shinobi actually managed to recognize that the Anbu used Mokutan and grew fearful. Before he could speak, the Anbu spoke first. Aoi Rokusho. Chunin level missing Nin from Konoha. Wanted for stealing the Raijin no Ken, sword of the Thunder God. Please come peacefully, and you will be given a fair trial. Aoi smirked slightly. Ha, you couldn't take me back even if you used force. I know who you are. There are only 2 Mokutan users left and you're the one with the golden blonde hair. Naruto Senju, Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. Despite your impressive skill set, you should know that this sword makes its wielder invincible, said Aoi as the sword hilt he had pulled out burst with yellow lightning taking the shape of a sword. You won't be able to stop me, no matter how much you try. This sword can cut through anything. Some of Aoi's surrounding shinobi looked conflicted. They all knew of Naruto Senju and what he was capable of. But they also knew what Aoi could do and how powerful he was with that sword. However, they didn't want to be around for the battle. Gamma didn't give them a chance to run away though. Mokutan, Shikuro no Jutsu, wood style, 4-pillar prison technique, said Gamma as he flashed through 4 hand seals. A huge wooden cage rose from beneath the group of shinobi, trapping them in a wooden box. Gamma threw several kunai attached with explosive notes on both corners of the box facing him. The tags began to burn, signaling an imminent explosion. Get out! It's going to explode! Shouted an IWA shinobi as he and several others tried breaking out of the technique. Their attempts were futile as the wood was infused with chakra and incredibly durable. Shit! Boom! The wooden box exploded violently as pieces of the wooden box and body parts were thrown everywhere. Gamma scanned the surroundings to check for any survivors. Aoi had escaped the durable prison by slicing through it with his sword. There was also another ninja laying beside him with a few singes on his clothes. Seems Aoi survived, and is that another Konoha ninja? Who is that? Thought Gamma as he looked toward the still smirking Aoi. I can cut through your wood. You won't get me with a simple trick like that, said Aoi. The smaller Konoha ninja beside Aoi stood up and proceeded to run away from the danger. Idate. You coward, said Aoi as Idate began fleeing the scene, leaving just him and Gamma alone. As Aoi was turning around, he saw Gamma appear in his face with a shunshin holding a Rasengan. Gamma's hand began to come forward as he sent his Rasengan into Aoi, who was surprised by the quick movement of the toad-faced Anbu. Aoi, though surprised, reacted quick enough to parry the jutsu with his sword. Gamma's Rasengan and Aoi's Thunder God sword clashed for a few seconds until Aoi smirked slightly. You don't seem to realize how powerful this sword is. With this sword I am invincible, shouted Aoi as he cut through Gamma's Rasengan cleanly. The sword continued as it sliced into the Anbu's shoulder and took his arm clean off. Aoi looked pleased with the results until the Anbu in front of him turned into wood. A clone? Then where is the real one? Thought Aoi until he was cut off by the sound of another Rasengan. The real Gamma was situated above Aoi as he sent Aoi crashing into the ground with a Rasengan to the back. As Aoi laid prone in the small crater created from the Rasengan, Gamma retrieved the Raijin no Ken and placed it in a sealing scroll. Gamma then placed his hands in the snake's seal as he created wooden stalks around Aoi to keep him from moving. Shit. It's suppressing my chakra, I can't get out, thought Aoi as he struggled against the binds. There's no need in trying. Someone of your caliber can't break out of that with physical strength. You were nothing but a mere Chunin teacher at the academy, who couldn't hack it in Konoha and decided to go rogue. It's over, said Gamma as he then hit Aoi to send him into unconsciousness. Taka appeared back in the clearing right after Gamma knocked Aoi out. Taka had Idate, the Konoha shinobi who tried to escape earlier, slung over his shoulder. Taka had easily caught up to and subdued Idate. Upon capturing him, Idate spilled the beans about everything. From his being fooled by Aoi into stealing the Raijin no Ken, to getting forced to go rouge with him or die. Idate tried to continue but Taka just knocked him unconscious as he didn't care anymore, not that he cared in the first place. After Taka told Gamma about Idate, Gamma touched his radio to tell Nico. Taisho. We have captured missing Nin, Aoi Rokusho, and retrieved the Raijin no Ken. We even caught missing Nin, Idate Marino, said Naruto as he waited for a response. Gamma didn't wait long as Nico immediately responded. Good work. I have already sent word to the retrieval team. Ibiki will be at your coordinates shortly. Once he arrives, meet us at the rendezvous point. Out. Gamma nodded his head as he waited patiently with Taka for Ibiki's arrival. After about an hour of waiting, Gamma sensed several presences nearing their position. Shortly afterward, Ibiki and several other torture and interrogation shinobi appeared. Thank you for your work here. Your job is done, we'll take it from here, spoke Ibiki as his men went to grab Aoi and Idate. Gamma and Taka nodded as they both leaped off into the forest to meet back up with the rest of their squad. As Idate and Aoi were being taken away, Ibiki couldn't help but feel happy on the inside. One being, his little brother was still alive. Idate Marino is Ibiki's younger brother, and even though they had their differences, they were still family. The second being, the man who caused all of this, Aoi Rokusho, was now in his custody. He was the man who stole his brother away from him and scarred his head with the Raijin no Ken as he was leaving the village. Oh, Aoi was about to become Ibiki's bitch, and he would hold no mercy toward him. One day later, it was near 7 o'clock in the evening as several people were situated in the Hokage's office. Squad 3 stood in front of Tsunade's desk as Tsunade sat behind it reading their mission report. After a minute or so, Tsunade nodded her head at the results. Another mission success. Great job, Squad 3. You have a day's rest. Dismissed, said Tsunade. At the word dismissed, the squad nodded and disappeared, except for Gamma. Tsunade noticed him still standing there and looked confused slightly. Hokage-sama. If we could have a word in private? Asked Gamma as Tsunade understood the seriousness behind it. Tsunade waved to her two assistants, Shizen and Sakura, that they were done for the day and could go home. As they both left, Gamma smiled behind his mask at Sakura. She had made a great impression on Tsunade and had got taken on as her pupil. Sakura was blossoming well under her guidance, and had told him that she'd catch him and Sasuke soon. Sakura was determined to not get left behind. When the door to Tsunade's office shut, Naruto took off his mask and took in a deep breath. He then slumped into the chair in front of Tsunade's desk as he let that breath go. Tsunade smiled at Naruto's antics. Even though he had joined a serious organization like Anbu, he was still a person, a regular person. So what's up, brat? What did you want to talk about? If it's about the scroll of seals sealed into your arm, said Tsunade as she looked at Naruto's right arm, which had a large orange fox with 9 tails coiling around his shoulder down to his bicep. It's fine. Like I told you before, Sensei wanted you to use it, and I do not need it. It's all yours. Naruto shook his head slightly. No, Bie-chan, it's not about that. I was just wondering, have you noticed anything fishy about Sasuke? Asked Naruto as Tsunade looked confused. What makes you think that? Asked Tsunade. Naruto placed a hand under his chin as he went into a contemplative pose. Well, have you noticed how he made the transition into Anbu so easily? It's not a knock on his skills or anything, but even Tenzo-sensei and Yugao-senpai think the same, said Naruto as Tsunade nodded her head. True. He does seem like he's done this type of work before, but I don't believe that's enough to warrant him acting fishy. Kakashi could have been helping him learn about it just as Tenzo has been teaching you. So there has to be something else that makes you say that? Questioned Tsunade. Yeah, 2 more things actually. First, he had a visitor during his time in the hospital, and I bumped into that guy when I went to see Sasuke with Yugito. He told me he was just some civilian wishing him well, but the guy had chakra like a ninja. Do you know of any old, crippled guy with a bandaged right eye and a scar on his chin that looks like an X? Asked Naruto. Tsunade showed no outward reaction but internally was shocked. Danzo? What the hell could he want with Sasuke? Thought Tsunade as she nodded to Naruto. Yes, that's Danzo Shimura, an old teammate of Sarutobi-sensei. He was quite skilled as a shinobi but got crippled during the Third Shinobi War, and has been an advisor ever since. You really have never seen him? Asked Tsunade as Naruto shook his head. No. I've never seen him in person, but I have heard stories about Danzo from Gigi. Of course not. I'm not sure many people in Konoha have even seen Danzo, let alone heard of him. Thought Tsunade, and the last thing was what he said to me. It wasn't necessarily the last thing, but he told me to remember that every leaf in the forest has 2 sides. What the hell could that mean? Do you know, that's an old code from the Third Shinobi War. But that's only used by Konoha shinobi who go on S-rank missions and try to avoid persecution from the higher-up shinobi. Only the Sannin, sensei, and the advisors know that code. Danzo must have told Sasuke. But why would he need it? I'll have to get down to the bottom of this, thought Tsunade as she shook her head no to Naruto's question. Of course, she knew about the code, but why make Naruto grow even more worried about his friend? She'd handle it so it'll be fine. Tsunade then smirked slightly as she decided to get off the serious topic with Naruto. She was off duty, so why not have a little fun? Tsunade pulled out a picture and slid it toward Naruto. Naruto looked confused as he wondered what she was trying to show him. He picked up the picture and blushed immediately. How did you get this picture? There's no way that you could have took this. It was just me, Yugito, Izumo and Kotetsu took it, said Naruto. He was holding a copy of the picture of his and Yugito's kiss, Kumogakure's Hellcat, and the orange fox of Konoha sharing a kiss. You do realize a picture like this would make someone extremely wealthy? Especially since we have to make copies of all letters sent to different villages. Like the ones exchanged between you and Yugito these past few months. I never knew you'd be so, said Tsunade holding pieces of paper that held the contents of Naruto and Yugito's letters. Naruto immediately snatched the letters out of Tsunade's hands as he tore them to shreds. Tsunade just smiled at his antics as she held up more copies. You think I didn't make copies, brat? You're just lucky, said Tsunade as she held up the original photo Izumo and Kotetsu had and the letters between Yugito and Naruto. I got the originals before Jiraiya could get his hands on them. You owe me, brat. Naruto let loose a breath he didn't realize he had. He'd have been in one of Jiraiya's books had his sensei gotten that photo or those letters. What would I owe you, Bachan? Asked Naruto as Tsunade smiled slightly. I heard that you, Jiraiya, and Gamabunta all got drunk in the forest together one day, sometime during the Chunin exams. Drunk off of some special anti-Mayaboku fire sake, said Tsunade as Naruto looked dumbfounded. How could you hear about that? That was months ago, Bachan. Asked Naruto. Jiraiya told me. You were the first to get to try the Toad's special sake besides the Toad's. Jiraiya also told me it was the best damn sake he'd ever had. Well, I want a taste. Give me a monthly supply every month and we're even, kiddo. Said Tsunade. Every month? Why can't I just do it once? Started Naruto until Tsunade held up the evidence again. Blackmail, Kuchios, said Naruto as he wanted to summon his baby-sized friend, Gamakichi. Yo! Came the deep voice of Gamakichi as he appeared from the smoke. Hey, Gamaki, holy hell? You got big? Questioned Naruto as he was looking eye level with his favorite toad companion. Gamakichi had grown so big that instead of him riding Naruto's head, Naruto could now stand on his. Hey, you humans are just slow. What do you need, bro? Questioned Gamakichi as Naruto got over his shock and told him the plan. You're crazy, but okay. If this doesn't work out and I get caught by Dad, I'm blaming you, said Gamakichi as he disappeared in a poof of smoke. Good choice, Gaki. Wanna get hammered? asked Tsunade as Naruto smiled slightly. Why not? It's been a hectic 6 months, said Naruto, prepared to bring back Gamakichi with Gamabunta Sake, somewhere under Konoha. You know your mission, correct? Came the voice of a shadowed figure. The figure was speaking to an Anbu with a raised collar and a purple hawk mask on. Hi. They will be coming tonight, and I will begin my mission, said Taka as the figure nodded his head slightly. Do not fret about the senju boy. I have safeguards in place to ensure your arrival. Just make sure you're late so you don't have to kill him early. I need you to gain his trust so Konoha can get Orochimaru's secrets, said the figure as it turned away. Before exiting fully, the figure spoke once again. To be a shinobi is to sacrifice oneself, closing your eyes to the sunlight, distinguishing yourself in the shadows. That is the true form of a ninja. You're doing a great service for your village, never forget that. Taka looked up as the figure vanished. Hi, Danzo-sama, said Taka as he also left to prepare for his escorts to take him to Orochimaru. The next morning, so close, said a panting Naruto. Naruto was laying on the ground in his Anbu uniform, but instead of his Anbu mask, he had on his headband. He was covered in bruises and had a few burn marks on his skin, but otherwise was fine. A chuckle was heard from a slightly beat-up Kakashi standing in the clearing with Naruto. Ma. You could have one had you used your tenant's power, Naruto, or even your Kekai Genkai. But it does seem like I'm not that old yet, said Kakashi with an eye smile. Stupid Sharingan. I'll surpass you someday, Kakashi-sensei, said Naruto as he stood up. So you going on that mission now, right? You're almost 4 hours late. Oh yeah? I almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me. I should be back tomorrow though. It's a simple one. So I'll see you around, Ja-eni, said Kakashi with a mock salute as he disappeared in a poof of smoke. I still can't beat Kakashi without using Kurama's power or my Mokuton. I'll get him eventually. But for now, time for some ramen, said Naruto as he vanished in a shunsh into his favorite eatery. Several hours later, Naruto handed an old lady a bouquet from the inside of a flower shop. Here you go, ma'am. Have a wonderful day, said Naruto with a smile. After eating, Naruto decided to help out at one of his favorite places in all of Konoha, the Yamanaka flower shop. He was having a swell time, and it seemed to get better as Shikamaru walked in. Yo! Shikamaru. What's up? Said Naruto as he then noticed Shikamaru's frantic movements. Naruto! You're here. Good. Tsunade-sama said she needs us for an urgent mission. It's important, said Shikamaru before he finished speaking. Naruto had appeared next to him and shunshin them to Tsunade's office. After appearing with Shikamaru in tow, Naruto noticed Kiba, Choji, and Niji standing there with him. What's going on, BH-chan? Asked Naruto. Tsunade looked toward Naruto with a very serious demeanor. Sasuke has left the village, said Tsunade as Naruto looked ready to snap, but she stopped him. We're not sure if he was taken or not, but Sakura claimed to have seen him walking toward the village exit, and we'll have to assume the worst. Kiba and Niji here will help you track him. Shikamaru is here to help with planning and Choji is extra muscle. Your mission is to capture Sasuke and bring him back alive, if possible. Sorry that we couldn't get any more manpower for this mission, but you all are the best I've got at the moment. Naruto, you're the leader of the mission, so please make haste, and be careful. Finished Tsunade as Naruto nodded his head. You guys ready to leave? Asked Naruto to his team. After a collective nod from everyone, Naruto took off out of Tsunade's window with them behind him. Kiba, can you find Sasuke's trail? Kiba sniffed the air slightly as he nodded his head. I already did while Shikamaru was looking for you. Follow me, said Kiba as they all leapt away from the village heading toward where the Valley of the End was. Naruto, Sasuke wouldn't become a traitor, would he? Naruto had a serious face as he continued sprinting. I don't know, but let's not discuss pointless things. We'll just ask Sasuke when we catch up to him, said Naruto as the team sped through the forest at a rapid pace. As they were heading in the direction of the trail, Niji voiced his opinion. Naruto-san, shouldn't this mission be for Jonin or at least a team of Chunins? Why is Hokage-sama sending 2 Chunins and 3 Genins? Asked Niji. Naruto didn't answer due to Shikamaru answering for him. True as it may be, this mission is definitely not supposed to be given to us. However, my dad told me that the village is very short-handed at the moment due to the invasion, meaning missions are being taken no matter what to help with the rebuilding, leaving the village with few shinobi to guard it. Due to that, that's why we were handed this task. Niji nodded in affirmation as Kiba decided to make his thoughts known. Who cares? We're going to kick some ass and take Sasuke back to the village. It's simple, said Kiba with the utmost confidence. Shikamaru, Chuji, and Niji smiled at the opinion as it was definitely needed for the overall morale. However, Naruto didn't smile, he merely nodded at the words and continued to sprint through the forest, still setting a rapid pace. Sasuke better have a damn good excuse for deserting the village. Naruto seems pissed and I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of it, thought Shikamaru as the group kept leaping through the forest, sprinting for nearly half a day and taking a rest during the night. The next morning, Naruto, we're getting close. I can see the group of 4 sound shinobi. And they are carrying a large circular box, said Niji, who had his Byakugan activated since Kiba said they were nearly upon them. They have stopped moving. It looks like they are carrying out a ritual. Shall we strike now? Asked Niji to Naruto as they landed in the trees surrounding the sound ninjas. It seems like the best idea. To ambush them and retrieve Sasuke. Shikamaru, what do you think? Said Naruto. Naruto was positive it was the best plan, but why not ask Shikamaru? It wouldn't hurt anything to hear from the genius. Shikamaru looked thoughtful for a few seconds, but ultimately nodded his head. That's perfect, but we need to strike now. Everybody ready? Asked Shikamaru. Seeing everyone's nod, Shikamaru turned back to the group in front of them. Let's go. When Shikamaru said the word go, a kunai with several explosive notes attached to the end landed on the tree beside the group. Shit, they spotted us, thought Naruto as the group jumped away to avoid the explosion, not without receiving the shockwave which ended up sending them further than intended. Naruto and Niji landed on their feet despite that, but Kiba, Chuji, and Shikamaru crashed into the ground, skidding slightly. The Senju kid. This will make it tough, but he still can't compete with Orochimaru-sama's curse seal, thought Kadamaru, a member of the Sound Four with 8 appendages, 6 arms and 2 legs. Well, look what we have here. I threw that kunai into the trees to catch a snake and instead caught several bugs, said Sakan, the member of the Sound Four who had 2 heads. Jirobo, stop them. The chubby member with an orange mohawk nodded his head as he went through several hand seals and said, Doton Kekai, Doro Domu, Earth Release Barrier, Earth Prison of Magnificent Nothingness. A large dome of earth quickly molded itself around the Konoha shinobi, imprisoning them inside as Jirobo kept his hands on the barrier. Go ahead. I'll finish this. We need to get the Uchiha to Orochimaru-sama, said Jirobo as his teammates nodded and took off into the forest. Jirobo then felt his dome get smashed in several places but only smirked. It's impossible to get out of this dome. Just give up. Damn. My Tsuga, passing Fong, did nothing to it but leave cracks. And even then, it's self-repairing. What do we do? Asked Kiba. Kiba's right. This dome is sturdy and I can even feel it siphoning off my chakra. How are we going to get out? Thought Shikamaru. Shikamaru then noticed that an area of the dome had recovered slower than the exact opposite side of the dome. That's it. The dome is weaker on that side, possibly due to him being on the opposite. If we hit it hard enough we should be able to get out. Now all we have to do is Rasengan! Shouted Naruto as he smashed his jutsu into the side of the dome that repaired the fastest. Shikamaru knew it'd be useless until he saw Naruto shrouded in the Kyuubi's chakra. Naruto blasted an enormous hole directly where Jirobo was holding his hands. Due to Naruto's powerful attack and Jirobo being so close in proximity to the blast zone, he was sent flying back and smashed through a tree. What the hell? That was so ridiculously powerful? Said Kiba, confused at Naruto since he had 2 tails of the Kyuubi's chakra. I thought you said you could only use 1 tail? Yeah, I did too. But how come I access 2? Kurama? Questioned Naruto internally to his inner demon. Is the seal weakening maybe? Or could it have been last night when Jiraiya spotted you passed out after singing songs with that Senju woman? He did touch your stomach slightly, so maybe he loosened the seal. I wasn't really paying attention to it, so I can't really know. You'll have to ask him, said Kurama back to Naruto. Kurama could sense Naruto's next statement and decided to quell it before he said it. It's alright. You have proven yourself more than enough to have more access to my power. Though I think he only loosened it to give out 4 tails of power. Thanks, Kurama. And to finish him, thought Naruto as he charged up another Rasengan, which took on a purple hue due to Kurama's chakra. Naruto vanished in a shunshin to appear above the downed Jirobo and smashed the jutsu into his face. Jirobo was down for the count. There was no coming back from that, even if he had used his curse seal. Naruto let his shroud fade as he turned back to his teammates. Let's go. There's no time to waste, said Naruto as the five took off once again in hopes of catching Sasuke. Naruto, said Shikamaru as they continued to leap through the forest. If we want to catch Sasuke, it'd be better if we split up from this point moving forward. There are only 3 of them left, and we still have 5 people, 6 counting Akamaru. Niji, can you take one of them alone? Seeing Niji nod, Shikamaru was going to continue with his plan until Kiba spoke up. I can take one alone too. But I won't be alone, I have Akamaru with me, said Kiba, getting a bark of agreement from his canine friend. Plus, I owe that 2-headed freak for calling us bugs. Finished Kiba, thinking about his teammate Shino. Bugs are cool. Shino showed me that. Shikamaru sighed slightly. Well, if you think so, then that settles it. Kiba can take the 2-headed dude, leaving Niji to take on either the girl or the one with 6 arms. Choji and I will take on whoever he doesn't face, leaving Naruto to get Sasuke and get him back to Konoha, said Shikamaru as the group nodded their heads at the plan. Naruto placed his hands in the snake's seal. Moku Bunshin no Jutsu, wood clone technique, said Naruto as he created several wood clones. Just in case, I'll be able to help. You never know, Orochimaru could send them assistance. The group continued to leap through the forest to enact Shikamaru's plan. Naruto, Choji, and Shikamaru stood across the redhead girl member of the Sound Four as Sasuke was nowhere to be seen, nor was the rest of their respective teams. Niji had stayed back to take on the 6-armed member of the Sound Four. Kiba had taken the 2-headed member off the cliff and was battling him alone as well. Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji had continued to pursue the last member, but upon arriving, they were met with another Sound Shinobi. He left Hayuya, the redhead girl, to stop the last 3 Konoha shinobi while he continued on. As they were staring her down, Shikamaru spoke to Naruto. Don't worry, Naruto. Choji and I will handle her. You go get that new guy and bring back Sasuke. We'll be fine. Naruto nodded his head and leaped past Hayuya while Shikamaru and Choji distracted her. Naruto easily caught up to the newcomer and stopped him in the middle of a field. Sasuke was still in his barrel as Naruto faced down the white-haired shinobi, Kimimaro, if that was his name since the redhead said it upon his arrival. Yo, said Naruto as he landed in the field with the other ninja. The ninja had pale skin, green eyes, 2 scarlet dots on his forehead, shoulder-length white hair. He wore a light lavender, loose-fitting, long-sleeved, zip-up shirt, black pants cut off around mid-calf, bandages wrapped around his ankles, shinobi sandals, and a purple, rope-like belt tied in an inverted bow around his waist. If Tayuya comes back, I'll kill her, thought Kimimaro as he turned to face Naruto. Let's see. How should I kill you? What does Orochimaru want with Sasuke? Asked Naruto. It is of no importance. You came to get him back and it's my job to get him to Orochimaru. No need for negotiation, replied Kimimaro in a monotone voice. Come. Naruto vanished in a shunshin at that word to appear in front of Kimimaro and threw a hook out at him. Kimimaro shifted his head back with ease as he dodged Naruto's punch. The ninja then lashed out at Naruto with a sword strike. Except his sword appeared to be made of bone. Is that bone? Thought Naruto as he backflipped away to dodge the slash. Do you have a Kekai Genkai? Seems you aren't as weak as I thought. It is the Kekai Genkai of my clan, the Shikatsumiyaku, Dead Bone Pulse. It allows me to freely control the bones in my body, and I'm the last of my clan, making me its last user, said Kimimaro as he held up his bone sword. So basically you can manipulate your bone structure to use for combat. I'm sure you can also freely control how dense those bones are, because if they were just regular bones, it'd do you no justice, said Naruto as he prepared to use a technique. However, before he could move his hands, the barrel holding Sasuke began to emit a purple smoke. After a few seconds, the barrel exploded and a huge plume of smoke billowed out. When the smoke died down, Sasuke could be seen standing with his back to Naruto. Sasuke's appearance had changed though. Instead of his normal black hair, it was much longer, down his back, and took on a blue hue. His skin also took on a darkish gray hue. Eventually, it all receded into the seal on his neck. Sasuke. Sasuke heard the voice and knew immediately that it was Naruto. Sasuke turned his head to look at Naruto with his Sharingan active. Without saying a word, Sasuke immediately leaped off to where Orochimaru would be. Kimimaro looked at Naruto as he said, Seems your friend wants to go to Orochimaru off his own free will. There's nothing you can do about that, so just let him leave and die by my hands. Naruto had closed his eyes when he saw Sasuke leave. Upon hearing Kimimaro speak, Naruto immediately opened his now blood-red eyes and stared at where Sasuke had jumped off to. His eyes, seems he has a strange chakra inside him, thought Kimimaro as he noticed Naruto's red, slitted eyes. No matter. I have to stop him. For Orochimaru-sama's sake. Kimimaro ran toward Naruto as he prepared to stab into him, only to get kicked away by a green blur. Konoha Senpu, Leaf Whirlwind, came the voice of the new arrival. Poised in his green jumpsuit, Rock Lee stood in front of Naruto in the beginning stance of the Goken. Lee started Naruto until he was cut off by Rock Lee. Please go on, Naruto-kun. I saw what Sasuke-kun just did. I'll handle this guy. You go get our comrade, said Rock Lee as he stared down Kimimaro. Naruto said nothing as he jumped on after Sasuke. After several minutes of following where Sasuke had jumped to, Naruto landed on a huge statue and saw Sasuke on the opposite one. Sasuke! Yelled Naruto as Sasuke stood facing him. Naruto noticed he was standing on the head of his forefathers, Hashirama Senju, statue in the Valley of the End. Sasuke stood opposite of him on Madara's head as he looked toward Naruto. Naruto, said Sasuke as he looked toward Naruto with his Sharingan blazing. What are you doing? Are you really leaving the leaf? Questioned Naruto as Sasuke didn't say anything. It doesn't matter. I'm going to kick your ass and drag you back, said Naruto as he prepared to clash with his best friend. Sasuke still hadn't said another word as he and Naruto jumped into the air and clashed. Naruto caught Sasuke's punch as Sasuke blocked Naruto's knee. The two landed on the water below, still locked in a struggle for dominance. After a short while, the two separated and stood opposite each other on the water of the river. Naruto's eyes were still red as he looked at Sasuke. So you really are trying to leave? Sasuke's Sharingan spun slowly as he finally responded to Naruto. Yes. There are things that I need to accomplish. As Sasuke said that, Naruto flared his chakra to dispel a subtle genjutsu placed on him. You know genjutsu of that level doesn't work on me, said Naruto as he performed a shunshin to appear in front of Sasuke. Naruto was already throwing an uppercut that Sasuke dodged by stepping back before he had to jump over Naruto's leg sweep. As he jumped over Naruto's attempt at his legs, Sasuke lashed out with a kick to Naruto's head. Naruto evaded Sasuke's kick and grabbed his ankle. Naruto then stood back up spinning as he tossed Sasuke away violently. Despite the speed at which he was tossed, Sasuke managed to somersault and land on the side of the wall as he went through several hand seals. Katan, Gokaki no Jutsu, Fire Style, Grand Fireball Technique, said Sasuke before he unleashed a huge fireball at Naruto. Naruto placed his hands on the surface of the water as he prepared to defend against the fireball. Mokuton, Jukai Heki, Wood Style, World of Trees Wall, said Naruto as dozens of branches rose from the water, interlocking as they grew in size to form a large wall. Sasuke's fireball smashed into Naruto's wall as after a few seconds, the wall stood firm despite the blackened areas due to the fireball's heat. I don't have time to play around, Kurama, thought Naruto as Kurama immediately understood and channeled chakra into Naruto's system. Naruto gained an orange chakra shroud as he charged up a Rasengan. Naruto took off to charge through his wall. As Naruto burst through the wall, he was met by Sasuke, who had charged up a Chidori with Naruto's same intentions. Sasuke had black, flame-like patterns going on his face since he used some of the curse seal to combat Naruto's Bijou Cloak. Chidori and Rasengan clashed against each other as the two battled for dominance once again. You should know that this was a mistake, said Naruto as he gained a tail of chakra. Naruto then easily blasted Sasuke away since a Biju's power, especially Kurama's, would trump Orochimaru's power boost any day. Sasuke smashed into the wall of the ravine. As he laid in the wall, Sasuke smirked slightly as he let Orochimaru's curse seal recede. You're right, Naruto. That was a mistake on my part. However, a Biju's power means nothing when compared to the full might of the Uchiha clan's Sharingan, said Sasuke as he came out of the wall while opening his eyes. His eyes were a different pattern though. Sasuke's tomo spread and converged along the edge of its iris, taking on the appearance of three intersecting ellipses. His eyes also inverted colors as there was a black eye with red designs. Kurama immediately recognized the shift in his eyes. Naruto, that is the Mangekyo Sharingan. Those eyes have the power to tame tailed beasts. Be wary of him, said Kurama as Naruto looked on with narrowed eyes at Sasuke. Sasuke's eyes seemed to glow slightly as he stared at Naruto. Let's see how you dance against my new eyes.